talking out on air.
A happy Friday the 13th as we welcome you back to Woodbine Mohawk Park, day 2, weekend 2 of the Rookie Showcase. Spotlighting Colt, Trotters, and Pacers here this morning. Appropriately, 13 races scheduled today, so it's going to be a busy one. And we'll run off the first 6 or 7. We'll have a break, an intermission halfway between, and then we'll be back with the remainder of the program. Sunny skies, nice day, but a little bit on the chilly side right now. It's 13 degrees as we speak. We had to throw a jacket on here this morning, but expected to warm up and be a pretty nice afternoon as we move into Pepsi North America Cup weekend tonight, racing, of course, and tomorrow night, the main event. Greg Blanchard, I've got Jeff Hunt joining me today, trackside, his maiden voyage on primetime racing. And Jeff, local horseman, comes from a racing family. Great to have you with us today. And for those who've heard your name but maybe don't quite know your backstory, your father, Pat, certainly was a guy that made a name for himself around these parts. Of course, remember him campaigning Breeders' Crown winner Liberty Balance, and you've followed in the footsteps. But you were a little bit later, you said, kind of when you really got the bug and got into racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Greg. Thanks for having me here. I'm excited to change up the monotony of being on the track and jogging horses in the morning and get out here with you. Yeah, absolutely. Most people know I played baseball for the majority of my life before I got into horse racing.
And pretty good ball player, I hear.
Just fair, anyways.
Oh, okay.
Just fair. But yeah, I played a little baseball, and like I said, I was kind of just, a garden gnome almost. Just watching there those years of Liberty Balance and whatnot, right? I was just following my dad around at that point as he did his thing, and I really didn't get into this until I was about 25 or something. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, and here I am.
Do you remember when the flip switched for you, when you really got the bug?
Yeah, it's strange, but I was playing baseball, and so one winter, maybe my second full season in the States, I actually came home and I worked for my father in the winter. He was training for himself over at Glengate Farm, now the Baxter's Farm. And I remember jogging a horse or two, and he must have been on the line a little bit and sort of almost put me in the forest there out at Glengate there. And for some reason, I was uncomfortable. And the rest of that winter, I told my dad he could jog all the horses, and I just stayed in the barn for the rest of that winter. And it was about 6 years in between. I never went back. And one reading week in university, I was doing nothing for the week, and I looked at my dad, and I said, "Can I come jog a horse tomorrow?" And he said, "Absolutely." I went out there, and it was him and my uncle Phil Cool at the time, and they used to just get horses ready for me. I used to jog them. We had a good old time, and that's when I really caught the bug, and I never really wanted to get out of the seat since.
I didn't know you were related to Phil Cool, the legendary Phil Cool.
The legendary Phil Cool.
I don't know if he'll be watching in today. If he is, hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Down in Nova Scotia now, right? Cape Breton. So I guess, the second time back behind the horses obviously worked out a little bit better for you. And just quickly, what you're doing today. I mean, you're kind of doing it a little more full time now. Work a bit with your dad, right? What kind of an operation do you have?
Yeah, absolutely. It always started, I was always underneath my father and learning and whatnot. It takes a couple years to get your licensing. Nowadays you'll see my father allows me to put my name down on most of everything in there, but certainly it's a big team effort in there. I just get a lot of the credit as it is. So yeah, we're in there. We have 5 in the barn right now, only 1 racing. A couple turned out at the moment. But yeah, generally my father and I are in there working hard. Sometimes shout out Chris Monroe Sr. comes out and helps us out. But generally, me and my father are working together.
Okay, so you know what a lot of these guys have gone through all winter to get their horses here today to the point where they're qualifying, and so we'll talk obviously a lot more about that throughout the morning. Colts take center stage today. It was the fillies yesterday who were in the spotlight. Let's show you some of the Friday highlights from yesterday, and a couple of first croppers clicked each with a winner. Century Pharaoh sent out 2 yesterday. yesterday. Had a win and a runner-up finish. Both looked good. Bulldog Hanover, his first winner here locally. Had a winner at Gateway the other day as well. Cattle Wash on the stallion side. Big morning for him. He looks like he's going to make a splash this season. 3 winners for that sire. 3 winners as well for the Ian Moore stable. He drove a pair of them himself. Jay, at the end of the morning session. Lavender Sealster, also from Ian's barn. She was the first daughter of Century Pharaoh to win, horse that he campaigned. On the trotting side, I'll have the red was the fastest of the trotting session, 58-4. Nice looking prospect for Rick Zeron.
Yeah, as I said, I didn't see that one live, but home in 27-1 is fantastic. A 2-year-old trotting filly. Also in that same race, Matt Bax home in 27 flat with 1. I thought that was a super impressive qualifier for sure. Where I'm not sure where you're located in proximity to some of the other stables. Do you get to see some of these babies training down at other venues and keep an eye on certain ones? Yeah, absolutely. I'm over at Shamrock Training Center, which is in Push Lynch. Over there, we've got Dr. Ian Moore on the farm, so we get to see a lot of his out there a lot. Tyler Moore out there. I know Tyler Moore's had a couple impressive campaigners out here recently. He's also on the farm, and those would probably be the 2 biggest names coming from our farms.
Now, you would have, obviously, your father would have been your big role model in racing, but, when you're stabled with or beside a guy like Ian or, other guys like that have had so much success, do you try and absorb a little bit to try and learn or kind of see what they do and what their program looks like?
Absolutely. But there's a big difference in the way our program is run because we generally own everything at this point. So, we have a little bit more flexibility on the time we can take as long as you've got the money to put into them. We can go a little slower than some of these high stakes barns. But certainly I try to take a little bit of what I see from them and mix it a little bit with what my father offers me, that's for sure.
And we want to thank our sponsors this morning before we get rolling. Of course, Harness Racing Update, the London Classic Yearling Sale. There will be several graduates of the London Classic out here this morning qualifying. Sealster Farms, Winback Farms, Hanover Shoe Farms, Twinbrook Farms, and Terra Hills Stud, and they all have a number of starters out here this morning. So the folks at those operations are going to be watching closely here today as well. Preferred Equine Online as well. Big thank you to them for being part of the sponsorship to make our shows possible here. And the Hambletonian Society, Hambo 100th anniversary coming up this year. And mentioned yesterday that FanDuel will be the presenting sponsor this year of the 100th edition of the Hambletonian. Getting a look at the horses and drivers coming out for qualifier number 1, scheduled to be a field of 8. So keep an eye out and see if there happen to be any changes in here. There's Trevor Henry, the last one that we're going to see on his way out. And he'll be on the number 1, Captain Crave. This was a Captain Crunch sibling to $400,000 winner Caviar Lotus with a sub 150 record, 49-3 for that one. And other nice production on that family as well. It'll be Trevor Henry teaming up here with the trainer Brenda Lane. And Brenda and Mark Lane sharing the ownership of this one. The aforementioned Ian Moore, there's a good look at his charge in here. Alcatraz Blue Chip, good looking individual.
Very shiny black individual here. Again, everything that comes out of Ian Moore's barn is usually a step ahead at this time of year. They look fantastic. That one the same.
This one owned by Let It Ride Stables. Reg Pettipaw, he's here this morning. Steve Demeter as well. And the Bolton Stables all share ownership of this guy. He's a shadow play. Ian knows that one well, of course. And he's campaigned a good sibling to this one called Andra Day. Full sibling, in fact. She's a $330,000 winner that Ian had, so knows the family well. This one a sibling as well to a good one in Cheesy Smile, a winner of more than $500,000. There's a look at 3, just some last-minute adjustments for Captain Commando. This is a Captain Treacherous in here. A bargain basement, $9,000 Captain Treacherous. You don't see too many of those these days.
No, do you know which sale did that one come out of?
He came out of the Blooded Horse sale.
Okay.
And he's one of, let's see, three in here. Three that did face the starting gate a week ago from the Blake McIntosh barn. Finished fifth, but I like the last quarter, 27-2. He had some zip on the end of his mile.
Yeah, for $9,000, that's not a bad last quarter your first time out, is it?
Absolutely, and that's what we saw a lot of last week. Just sprinting on the end of it, 27. Now with these horses coming back a second week, I think you're going to see at least a few of them really step up in the speed department.
Yeah, you think those last quarters will be even a little more hot today?
I think so, and I think the overall time as well. I think that's the MO for a lot of them these days. Wouldn't you agree that the first one is just about the experience, just maybe stay on a helmet a little bit longer in week one. Week two, if you're going to try and maybe push forward early, ask for more overall speed, that's when you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were asking sort of, my perspective on where the horses are at this stage, right? And you said, they come out the first time. They've probably been here to train at least a time or two. We like to get them here to show them the track before you bring them to qualify. But this is sort of crunch time. The trainers sort of have them ready here, and you see you're ready to qualify anywhere around 2 minutes. And from this stage on, we're going to see who wants to continue to drop, right? And those will be the horses that we continue to watch all summer.
There's a good look at Alcatraz Blue Chip, who we touched on. Je ne sais quoi is another from the Blake McIntosh barn that will be out for a second week. This is a cattle wash colt post 4-starter here. This is one of the rookies who won last week in 59 and 4 and won fairly easily on that occasion. I like the fact that we've seen cattle washes really turn heads recently, especially yesterday at 3 wins on the filly side of things. And you've probably seen some of them training down. You probably get reports. He and maybe is there another stallion that you've been hearing good things about?
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't had the chance to have a cattle wash yet. But I do know that I do believe we purchased 2 breedings to cattle wash this year. So, it's exciting to see him do so well out here. And I really haven't gone to work with one. I haven't been able to sit behind one. So all I can tell you is what I'm seeing on paper here. And so far, they seem to be showing up everywhere.
There's number 5, French Bulldog, a Bulldog Hanover colt, obviously, from a rock and roll Hanover mare. This guy, $27,000 Harrisburg yearling purchase for Team Fellows. Blair Corbeil shares in the ownership with the Windermere stable and Irene Carey as well. And as we said, Bulldog clicked with a filly winner here yesterday, at a filly winner at Gateway the day before. And this guy looks the part out on the racetrack as well. So I think as I look out there, yes, we have all 8 that were scheduled taking up their position, the starting gate getting set to go. We'll see if Mark McKelvey's up there. Yes, he is. And Mark, good morning to you. Exciting. And we'll see what the boys have in store after a really impressive session from the fillies yesterday.
Yeah, you're right about that. I thought we finished off the day very strong yesterday, and now let's see what happens today. So looking forward to it, Greg, as we got the first of 13 lining up behind the starting gate. Number 1 is Captain Crave, gelded son of Captain Crunch. The driver will be Trevor Henry for Brenda Lane. 2 is Alcatraz Blue Chip, a shadow play colt. It's Jody Jameson for Doc Moore. 3 is Captain Commando, Captain Treacherous colt. Billy Davis for Blake McIntosh. 4, Je ne sais quoi, cattle wash colt. Doug McNair. Kyle Fellows. 6 is LD's Hunter. Beat and trains James McDonald on the bike. 7 is Twin B John B. Cattle wash, gelding. Francis Dumichel trains. Travis Henry drives. And 8 is PL Taco, a cattle wash colt. Bob McClure, the driver for trainer Katie Huskinson. Looking at the yearling prices in this field, 2 Alcatraz Blue Chip was a $65,000 U.S. purchase out of Harrisburg. 3 Captain Commando out of the Blooded Horse sale for $9,000 U.S. Je ne sais quoi, the 4, $23,000 out of Harrisburg. 5 French Bulldog was a $27,000 purchase from Harrisburg. And the 6 LD's Hunter, a graduate of Lexington Select Sale for $30,000 US. Gates in motion for our first of 13 here today. And they're off and pacing and rolling out to the lead. It'll be Alcatraz Blue Chip. Captain Commando a couple steps there at the start, but resets. And here on the outside now, looking to brush up to the top in the opening stages will be Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi makes it to the lead. Outside is French Bulldog third. Inside fourth is Captain Commando. Back to Captain Crave then in fifth. As we work back in the field, we'll check in with Twin B, John B, and then behind that one into that opening quarters, LD's Hunter, followed by PL Taco. 30-1 was the opening quarter. So the Pacers will come into the backstretch first time as it's Je ne sais quoi, clear leader by 3. Second is Alcatraz Blue Chip. Third then is French Bulldog. Racing in fourth, that is Captain Commando. 2.5 lengths going back to Captain Crave, who is being followed by Twin B, John B. 2 more lengths into LD's Hunter, and a couple of lengths to PL Taco. Loose on the lead, all alone is Je ne sais quoi, and was a big-time winner in the qualifying debut last week. Clear here by nearly 5 at the half in 59-4. Second quarter was paced in 29-3, and it's the rookie Pacers entering the far turn. Je ne sais quoi by himself. Second is Alcatraz Blue Chip. It's about almost 3 lengths then to the Bulldog Hanover Colt French Bulldog, who is third. Fourth is Captain Commando. Racing in fifth is Captain Crave. Back then to Twin B, John B, who was followed by LD's Hunter and PL Taco. In second, Alcatraz Blue Chip has narrowed down the margin to 2 lengths. That's what Je ne sais quoi leads by. 129-1 was the 3-quarter clocking. They're into the stretch. Je ne sais quoi will look for a little more here to kick on home strong. Last week he was home in 26-3. In second is the debuting Alcatraz Blue Chip. Far outside is Captain Crave, trying to move into third from Captain Commando and French Bulldog, but it's Je ne sais quoi. And Je ne sais quoi is cruising down to the wire and is going to win again. Je ne sais quoi finishing in second, Alcatraz Blue Chip. Captain Crave was third. In fourth was Captain Commando. Shooting through late with a good kick as they were coming to the wire was LD's Hunter. 156-3, the final time there for Je ne sais quoi.
2 for 2 now, Je ne sais quoi, and sharp speed on the end of that, 27-2. And did it pretty, I think, pretty much in hand. Alcatraz Blue Chip. First start for this one behind the gate, just sort of stayed and followed in, but really I think held his ground well as the top 2 were getting away on the others. So, not a whole lot to choose, I think, between the first 2 finishers. What do you think, considering one already had a start under his belt?
Yeah, no, that was very impressive. Obviously, those 2 are a little bit of a league of their own right now. And again, super impressive. We drop each week here. I don't think the last quarter is going to be as hot this week as last week, but we get the time of the mile down, and neither one of them looked tired at the end, if I'm honest.
Yeah, a little bit cooler this morning, a little bit more wind than there would have been a week ago. So, when you factor that in, if you see a mile today in that 55, 56 range, I think it's going to be even a little bit more impressive than on a normal, under normal conditions.
Absolutely. And, it's tough to duplicate 26-3 with a 2-year-old anyhow, isn't it? That's, either way, still very impressive.
So
good start to the morning.
Absolutely. And Blake's got a few nice ones on his hands here that we've seen so far. And Je ne sais quoi, as mentioned, he signaling he is ready to drop into racing action here. This guy, again, a son of cattle wash from a great mare, Luck of Michelle. She was the winner of almost $1 million, that daughter of Cam Luck. This guy's co-owned by Ozzie McKay, along with Blake, Gilles Landry, and Bob McNeil, part of that ownership group. They got to be excited, certainly, about this guy. And I know they've got another nice colt later that was a winner a week ago, so we'll see if that one can go 2 for 2 later on. But I think others like Captain Crave showed good late pace on the end, picks up third there. Certainly not trying to overextend. We talked about that here yesterday on the show. You're kind of letting the horse, I would say, at this stage, fair to say, you're kind of letting them do what they can do comfortably?
Yeah, hopefully. You never want to over stress a 2-year-old at this point. You don't want to zap them, too early on in their career. So yeah, as a driver, you'd like to keep the bit in their mouth. You want them to finish through the wire without tiring them out or discouraging them too much.
I was going to say it's a real mental thing at this stage, right?
Yeah, and we're not racing for any money out here tonight, right? So this isn't where we make our money. This is where we teach them to do things properly.
Nice looking group to kick us off here. The first of a baker's dozen on this Friday morning from Woodbine Mohawk Park. We'll be back with more of the Rookie Showcase in a moment.
Harness Racing Update covers the sport from all the angles, with news, opinion, features, photography, and the most comprehensive racing, breeding, and sales stories in the game from around the globe. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. Plus, HRU's popular Twos and Training series on YouTube gives you the first look at the stars of tomorrow. And the best news, it's all free. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com.
All sports dynasties share one thing.
Home run! Another world championship!
They dominate. Hanover Shoe Farms, the most successful breeder of Hambletonian champions, producing an impressive total of 11 winners, has dominated the race. Purchase Hanover yearlings at Harrisburg. Hanover Shoe Farms, a standard bred dynasty.
It doesn't get any better than that! Wow!
Welcome back. Time to turn our attention to our first group of trotters on this Friday morning. We've got a field of 7 set to go postward. One of them in here, Jeff, is a colt called Bob from Hockey. He's a Trixton. Rick Zeron had a winner yesterday. We got a chance to catch up with him on the show, and he was very high on the filly that won yesterday called I'll Have the Red. He mentioned Bob from Hockey as one that he's also looking forward to this morning, so we'll get our first look at him, a son of Trixton. Trixton's been a really solid stallion over the course of his career.
Yeah, I haven't been fortunate enough to work with any Trixtons either, but they seem to trot well, and I get that line yesterday for Rick and his filly was impressive. Rick knows a good trotter when he sits behind one, so if he says this one can go a little bit, I think I tend to trust him.
Yeah, the filly he had here yesterday, he mentioned Atlanta as a comparison. So when he did that, our ears perked up.
It'll perk you up.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill. Those are big shoes to fill. But
he's got this guy off the track right now, just minor equipment adjustment. He's a big colt too. We're just getting a look at him now in behind us. Trixton out of Chapter Heaven, the daughter of Chapter 7, and Bob from Hockey's a brother to a pair of $100,000 winners. There's Maize and Blue, the number 1 in the field, Green Manalishi. Let's see, one of 3 in the field from that stallion, and a sibling to the almost $200,000 winner, Kipper Whippersnipper. Mm-hmm. There's a Raucous, a muscle mass, sibling to Cousin Halifax. Cousin Halifax has been a good one. This one, one coming onto the track now, a sibling to that one.
Yeah. I don't know that one well, if I'm honest.
Cousin Halifax, yeah, good. Has been a gold competitor. Hasn't won at the gold level, but an improving youngster that has been quite competitive. So when you're an OSS gold competitor, I think you certainly take notice.
And the Green she's sort of the cattle wash on the trotting side, showing up a lot.
Yeah, kind of certainly the impact new stallion in Ontario on the trotting side for sure. Sendika, number 5, another son of Green Manalishi here, gelding. This one is a homebred and first foal from baby Mia, and it makes her a sister to the $500,000 winner, Hey Blondie, or the mare is a sister to Hey Blondie, and this is her first foal. So certainly nice pedigree potential here. There's Classified, Matt Bax. He unveiled some nice fillies yesterday on the trotting side, some blue chip prospects, and one here, son of Captain Corey, a stallion that you were saying you like.
Yeah, I love him. Like I said, not Ontario sired, right? Correct. But very interested to see how they go, if I'm honest. Like I said, I didn't watch enough of the most recent baby races to see, but I am excited to see what they look like and how they go. His nice filly yesterday was not a Captain Corey, though, I don't believe. I think it was a Walner, correct?
Okay. I think you're right on that one. Captain Corey, who stands at Hanover Shoe Farm, former Hambletonian winner and classified. This is a homebred owned by Al Libfelt, and the third foal from Chanel Me, the Cantab Hall mare. And she is a daughter of the almost $1 million winner Dream on Me, and classified. Makes a nice pre-race appearance out there. There's Trevor Henry with Fourth Gear, son of Archangel. Bargain basement, $16,000 Lexington yearling purchase. And we've seen a few of those over the years here on the trotting side, especially those diamonds in the rough. I think of Fashion Frenzy, Logan Park. They were both very reasonably priced yearlings, both sons of Archangel. Look what they've done on the racetrack. It's incredible.
Yeah, I think you made me a little more likely to see it on the trotting side, a little finickier to get them to the races and keep them there.
7 trotters getting set to move in here. Qualifier number 2. We'll send it back up to Mark McKelvey to set things up for the second of 13.
All right, thank you very much, Greg and Jeff, as we're set for this second qualifier. No changes in here. And it's a field of 7. 2-year-old Colton Gelding trotters. Number 1, Mazen Blue, a green Manalishi colt, Louis Waugh for Kyle Fellows. 2 is Bob from Hockey, gelded son of Trixton, Rick Zeron trains and drives. Number 3 is Classified. This is a Captain Corey colt, Matt Bax, the trainer driver. 4 is Raucous, Muscle Mass colt, Dan Legacy trains, James McDonald drives. And this was a $50,000 purchase out of Harrisburg. 5 is Sendika, green Manalishi gelding, Ben Bayarjan trains, Tyler Borth does the driving. Then we'll move on to number 6, Fourth Gear. It's Trevor Henry for Scott McEnany, an Archangel colt. This one coming out of the Lexington Select Sale for $16,000 US. And number 7 is Crunching the Odds, a green Manalishi colt. Blake McIntosh trains, Doug McNair drives, $37,000 London Classic purchase. So it's a field of 7 for this second qualifier here today. Total of 13 here this morning. All leading into a big weekend across the board here at Woodbine Mohawk Park. With tomorrow night's Pepsi North America Cup card. Live racing here tonight as well. So really looking forward to it. There will be a break following qualifier number 6 here today. And after that break, we'll resume and roll into the back half. But for now, we're on qualifier number 2 and the gates into the stretch, and here they come. Off stride is number 3 Classified. The others are off and trotting. And it's a tepid beginning here. We will see Bob from Hockey get out to the early lead. Coming across the track will be Crunching the Odds to move into second. Mazen Blue got away in third. It's Raucous in fourth. Off stride now goes the 6th, Fourth Gear. And so to that one's inside was Sendika, who will hold ground at the rail. Races from in 5th. Off stride again was 4th Gear, and a break at the beginning has Classified well back. To the opening quarter in a time of 30-4. Bob from Hockey leading the way, as in second is Crunching the Odds, 2 lengths to Mazen Blue in third. You will find Raucous in 4th. 5th then is Sendika. Resetting was 4th Gear after the miscue, and well back to Classified. So the leader is a son of Trixton. This is Bob from Hockey for trainer-driver Rick Zeron. Had a good-looking filly win yesterday on the trot. Now rolls this guy out for the first time, and he leads it by 3 coming up to the midway point. The half was hit in 101-3, and that is back-to-back 30-4 splits through the opening half mile. Crunching the Odds, second time out. This green Manalishi colt's in second. Mazen Blue, a debuter, is in third and stepping nicely into that far turn. 4th is Raucous. Then in 5th, that is Sendika. Now starting to advance maybe his 4th Gear, and Classified is the trailer. It's a 2-length lead for Bob from Hockey. And Bob from Hockey takes him down to 3/4 in a time of 1:31-2. So that was the quickest split to this point. 29-4 in the third quarter. Into the stretch, it's Bob from Hockey. in second throughout this mile has been crunching the odds. Now Maize in Blue showing a little more clear racetrack, trying to make up some ground. In fourth is Raucous. It's still Bob from Hockey, and Bob from Hockey is going to go all the way in the second qualifier. Bob from Hockey wins it. Good finish there from Maize in Blue second. Third was Crunching the Odds, and fourth was Raucous. 159 and 3 for Bob from Hockey.
Bob from Hockey kicking home with a 28-1 final quarter to get it done. So Rick Zeron had a filly trotter yesterday that wins impressively and follows up here with his colt Bob from Hockey in qualifier number 2. Maize in Blue, first time out for this one. Nice rally to pick up the place spot over Crunch of the Odds, who was better this week as well. That one had made a miscue last week. Good third, just picked off for the runner-up spot. So nice efforts all the way around here. Qualifier number 2, Bob from Hockey. Speaking of hockey, how about that game last night? Just quick thought on that. That was incredible.
I was going to say, good morning to all our Oiler fans out there. As a Leaf fan, we're not happy that we're watching, but we are rooting for everybody.
I've got to have some Oiler fans here today.
There's
and
got to be a few.
There was a lot of character shown there last night. Speaking of characters, though, there is Rick Zeron getting it done. So, he could not contain his smiles yesterday after that filly won. You could tell.
His barn's ready to go for 2025.
Yeah, for sure.
His barn's ready.
This guy is mentioned, a gelded son of Trixton, and comes from a pretty good family there. Bred by the Rick Zeron stables, along with James Walker, Jeff Ruck, and Dean Lockhart. And they all own this guy, and I'm sure are excited about the upcoming prospects for this season for this guy. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to check. The Ontario Sire Stakes will be kicking off here fairly soon. Another probably week or two, I would imagine, before we get our first 2-year-old stakes. I'll double check that. But this one looks like stakes potential somewhere along the line for sure. It'll be interesting to see if the horse goes out one more time. I'll maybe ask you if you were in this position when you get a horse like this that looks so good here this morning, what would dictate whether you would go again or whether you just drop into a race?
Yeah, like I said, probably how they felt crossing the wire, just making sure that you still have some energy left, that you're not all the way out at the wire. I was going to ask you that as well. I don't have any 2-year-olds, so I don't know the stakes schedule so much, but how quickly we're trying to get ready here.
That's where Google will really come into play for us here shortly.
At this time of year, again, you really want to protect them. It's nice to be the first one ready. There is some money to be had early on in the season, but at least in my mind, I'm trying to win the last one, never the first one. So we'll just try to make sure they keep going.
And here we see them coming off the track, and this is an important part of the day right here, right? You can see guys chatting, your trainers, your drivers, and they'll be wanting to garner a lot of important feedback, right? That's going to help them for next week.
Exactly. You want to know how the horse was driving. That'll tell you how it's feeling. If it's on a line, running in or running out. You want to know how they felt crossing the wire. A lot of times you're going to get reports about how they're behaving. Some of them are seeing a lot of things for the first time out here. Even as Rick's on the monitor there, I thought even Bob from Hockey there looked a little bit green going to the front there. And just keep teaching them.
Yeah, and I like the mannerism of the colt. He came off the track here just before the race to get an equipment adjustment, and all new territory, I'm sure, and just handling everything quite well. And the years are up there. That's, I think, good body language. That looked like it took very little, if anything, out of him here this morning.
Like you said, he came off the track, and he wasn't out of control. He knew he was in a new place, but he let everybody get their work done, and he went back out on the track. And like we said, ears are up 90% of the time. I did notice coming across the wire they were back, but he was listening for the horses behind him, which is also a good sign too.
All right, off the track he goes, in for a bath, and mission accomplished here today for that one. We'll take another commercial break. We'll be back. Another group of pacers coming up in the third.
Winbank Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including three-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025. The last great son of the legendary Sub Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beachglass, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Windbank Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line by MVP and Trixton. For more information, visit windbankfarm.com.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
We've got Pacer stepping onto the track for qualifier number 3. And some high-profile individuals. One of a quartet of six-figure babies going out here. And his name is Brindle, your post-3 starter. $125,000 U.S. purchase out of the Harrisburg sale. This one, son of Bulldog Hanover.
He's happy to be here.
The Brindle stable. And Ian Moore doing the driving. Yeah, we got one making a bit of noise in behind us.
Yeah, Brindle, a good name, and here he is, a pretty typical-looking Ian Moore trainee. Big, strong-looking 2-year-old.
There's
well
a look.
Matured.
Getting a look on screen there at Plankton Hanover. Better's Delight out of Palm Beach. Going to be the 4th foal for this one. The first 2 were $150,000 plus winners. And this one a $50,000 Harrisburg purchase. As mentioned, Brindle one of 4 today, 6-figure yearlings. The other ones we're going to see a pair from the Dean and Ashley Wilson's operation, and both sold at the London Classic last year. DA Mastermind, DA Bodacious. We're going to see them competing later today. Brindle here in the 3rd, and Captain Willie. Was a $100,000 Lexington purchase a little bit later. So you're always keeping a close eye on those, right? They sell for big price tags for a reason. They've got the pedigree to suggest they could be something special. Doesn't guarantee anything, though, does it?
No, it doesn't guarantee anything. But here, yet every year we come back and we are always rooting for, you know, the expensive purchases. You know, they don't always get there, but we're always rooting for it. It's a good story, you know.
Yeah, and, you know, you see certain people, certain ownership groups, you know, put a lot of money into the game. So, yeah, you like to see them rewarded. Conversely, I mean, there's nothing better than a good Cinderella story, too, right? And seeing the guys that, you know, got that diamond in the rough. And, you know, there's stories of those Cinderella stories for sure that we see year in and year out. And then everything in between, certainly here. We've got a little bit of everything, I think, in this group represented. There's a look at Cabo San Lucas. Phil Hudon's going to be driving that one. A Better's Delight in here. From Spring Break, she was a good mare, made almost $800,000 on the racetrack, and a full sister to Better Than Spring, who was top level performer as well. A couple of Better's Delights in the field here, still going strong, and one that's probably got a bit of a soft spot for you.
Yeah, we really love the Better's Delights lately, that's for sure. We've had success with a couple. A Courtly Choice in here for Blake, that's pretty cool. 5 horse.
Yeah, for sure. You know, a lot of the trainers, they'll go back to familiarity, right? When they've clicked with a certain lineage, they want to go back and see if lightning can strike again. Once again, let's go back up to Mark McKelvey. He's got the call of the 3rd.
All right, thank you very much, Greg. It's the third qualifier today, a field of 7. Number 1 is Plankton Hanover, a Better's Delight colt trained by Tony Beaton. The driver's James McDonald. This was a $50,000 U.S. buy from Harrisburg. 2 is DA Let's Dance, Dance and Luke colt. Greg McNair trains, Doug McNair drives. $60,000 purchase from the London Classic. 3 is Brindle, a Bulldog Hanover colt trained by Dr. Ian Moore. The driver is Louis Philippe Waugh, a $125,000 purchase from Harrisburg. 4 is Rough Deal, gelded son of American Ideal, Jody Jameson for Carl Jameson. This one from the Lexington Select Sale for $17,000 US. 5 is First Due Truck Work, Courtly Choice colt, Blake McIntosh trains, Billy Davis drives, $25,000 out of the Goshen Yearling Sale. 6 is Cabo San Lucas, Better's Delight colt, Kyle Fellows trains, Phil Houdon will drive, $30,000 from Harrisburg. And 7 is Crazy Train, a Sweet Lou colt, $17,000 US from the Lexington Select Sale. Gino Toscani will do the driving for trainer Desiree Jones. Field of 7 lined up. Here they come for the third. And they're off and pacing. Crazy Train is shooting from the outside. Coming away well will be Rough Deal between horses. First Due Truck Work on the outside. And then we will go back to DA Let's Dance. Brindle is getting an easy beginning. And then it's back to Plankton Hanover, Cabo San Lucas. Driving into the first turn. And our leader here is going to be First Due Truck Work. So First Due Truck Work, let that rival Crazy Train come around at first. And then brushed up to the lead and is taking them by the opening quarter in a pretty snazzy 28-2. First Due Truck Work is the leader here. This is a Courtly Choice colt, clear by 2 lengths, second time out. Crazy Train in second. Right behind that one in tight third is going to be Rough Deal. 4th is Brindle. 5th up the backside is DA Let's Dance. Then we're going to find Plankton Hanover, and the last one's Cabo San Lucas. Here comes a second quarter rush to the lead now from Rough Deal. So they were tightening up as the pace certainly slowed after that 28-2 opener, and that would force the hand of Rough Deal as the son of American Ideal swings up to the lead. 1 minute and 4/5, so it's certainly did slow. That's 32-2 in the second quarter, and Rough Deal now has control. In second is First Due Truck Work. Third then is Crazy Train. 2.5 lengths back to Brindle in fourth. Another 2 to DA Let's Dance. On that one's back is Plankton Hanover, second from last, and Cabo San Lucas rounds things out. Driving down to 3/4, it is Rough Deal the leader. Second is First Due Truck Work, while Crazy Train is in third and already coming to the outside. 1:30-3 is the 3/4 time. Into the stretch they come, and Rough Deal has the lead. Back on the move is Crazy Train into second, and Crazy Train is in pursuit of the leader. In third is First Due Truck Work. Brindle is back in fourth. There's a 1/16 of a mile to go. It is still Rough Deal with the lead. Crazy Train is coming on, though. Rough Deal and Crazy Train heading down to the wire. Rough Deal will win it by half a length. Crazy Train was second. Finishing in third was Brindle. Outside fourth was DA Let's Dance. 1:57-4.
Rough Deal, another one of the horses who qualified a week ago, came back here in week number 2. Made a miscue at the start last week, but showed a real snappy 26-2 final quarter. So not surprising, Jeff, to see him come out and win like he did this morning.
Absolutely not. Another encouraging effort there. And what is that? Almost 27-1 home. That's very nice. Also, Gino's on the outside, shows a little bit of speed for sure. Left the gate well, finished well. And again, two standouts in that field.
Yeah, for sure. Crazy Train, nice lapped on second and closing at the end. A pretty relatively bargain basement purchase for Gino and company. And Brindle, the one we talked about, he gets up for third. DA Let's Dance, finishing fourth. Sibling, it's a sibling to a one that's shown a lot of talent. Only 2 career starts for one called The Rider. He's a 4-year-old. We're going to see him tonight. He won at London in our last week of racing there, and only a second career start, won on 55 and change, and made it look so easy. Obviously had issues that kind of kept him away from the racetrack as a 3-year-old, but he's got a lot of talent. So really curious to see how he does tonight, and DA Let's Dance, a sibling to that one. So. Yeah, when you're looking at pedigrees, right? You just look at the stats, but there's nothing better than when you've seen horses race and you know that a sibling, had had X amount of talent, but maybe had a reason for not quite reaching their top potential. So when you do that, sometimes that's how you can find those diamonds in the rough.
Exactly. You know, we all, when you're purchasing horses, you know, you can't measure what's on the inside. You know, we never know where we're going. So any little bit of familiarity that we can go with, and again, bloodlines and families seem to be very popular for us to get comfortable with. You know, you like a sire, or you like the mother or something, you'll go back to it again.
Going to go look at them post-race here. And there's a look at the winner again, Rough Deal. Nice-looking individual. Nice, solid-looking son of American Ideal. What a prolific stallion he has been. Of course, Casey Coleman. I see Casey here again today, campaigned him. And well, a lot of her former pupils have gone on to do great things in the stallion shed.
Yeah, she did a great job throughout her career. She really, you know, she earned everything she got. That's for sure. She's left a mark on the industry, and again, you know, those American Ideals. I love the look of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Big round rumps. You know, big,
good,
powerful.
Good on every
animals.
size track.
Yeah,
it seems. Yeah, bred by Winback Farm. This guy, and talked to Carl briefly just before the qualifier started today, and yeah, he was hopeful. He thought this guy could bounce back here this morning, so no doubt they will be happy with what they saw. Let's take another break in the action. We'll be back with more trotters when we return.
The London Classic Yearling Sale, Canada's premier standardbred auction, returns this October to the Western Fair District Agriplex. The nation's leading consigners choose the London Classic, offering hundreds of yearlings by many of the sport's leading sires, all under one roof at one of North America's best venues. Recent sale graduates include Canada's Rookie Pacing Colt of the Year, Stonebridge Wizard, O'Brien Award finalist Paquette, and O'Brien Award winning double millionaire Logan Park. The London Classic Yearling Sale, where your dollar goes further and where champions are found. Find out more at londonclassic.ca.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
Yeah. Looking at trotters now making their way out for qualifier number 4. And while in the break, yeah, I hopped on the computer and yeah, did confirm. We're going to see our first 2-year-old stakes races here in July 4th here at Mohawk Park. It's going to be the first assignment in the OSS this year. And yeah, beyond that, some big events happen here. You know, among them, the Mohawk Million. And it's fun to think about at this point. Are we going to see something here this morning that could ultimately be racing for $1 million in September?
Absolutely. I think that's why we are here, right? We want to be here, and you know, if we don't own a stake in one particular horse, we want to say, you know, we saw that horse all year long. We saw it when he first came out here and he made his debut, right?
Here's a look at the horses coming out here. There is a scratch of number 1, Green Energy. It's going to take us down to a field of 6 in this upcoming 4th race. Our good friend of the show, colleague Randy Waples, sent me a message. He's tuning in this morning.
Good.
And he wanted me to ask you about racing in Minnesota.
All right.
He had some experience there, and he said he absolutely loved it. So he wanted to get your thoughts on that. You had a stint out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Last summer I took off, and I took a couple horses to Running Aces, which is in Minnesota. And it was amazing. It was a fantastic opportunity for me to get it on my own and try to have to, you know, get through some of the critical thinking on my own. But the state of Minnesota is an amazing place. They call it the state of lakes. You know, 10,000 lakes or something there. Amazing people. And it was a beautiful way to spend the summer.
Well, that's interesting because that's pretty much how he described it. He said the people were fantastic and raving about the experience overall.
Yeah.
And how did you do out there?
I did okay, you know. It was kind of up and down, let's say. I had some success to start. We went into a little bit of a lull in the middle of the summer, and I had to get myself out of some sticky situations. And we finished up strong. It was. I decided not to go back this year. More, it was a great place for me, but maybe not the best place for the horses that I took. So we did well on the whole, but we learned a lot of lessons through the ebbs and the flows.
Speaking of sticky situations, we almost just had one here, and that's part of it too at this time of year. A lot of rookies here, and for some of them it's new, and they can get a little fractious. And we had that with Steady Volo, but he just kind of bolted, it looked like, off the track from what we can tell, but he's back out there. It looks like he's...
Maybe the tote board looks like the tote board was
looks
a
like
little
he's
scary.
okay. And yeah, he's back on the track, so it looks like he's going to compete. Steady Volo. He's the propulsion colt. James McDonald and Harry Polton here for the stable Trosa of Ohio. They own this one. Propulsion from Sterling Volo. And this one is a sibling to a couple of good ones. Simply Volo, winner of almost $500,000, and Lily Stride, who made over $700,000. This guy a $33,000 Canadian purchase. Green Snickers is in the field. Green Manalishi next door to a couple of other Green Manalishis in the field, the 5, 6, and 7 all from that sire. One is I Drink She Drives. I've had a look at this one. She's stabled at Dorchester Downs down in my neck of the woods here for the Steve Boston's barn. Love the name, I Drink She Drives. And I know Steve's been cautiously optimistic about this one this season in the training down process. Kind of does everything the right way and gives him the indication she could be something here. And a sibling to one that showed a ton of potential, Fleetwood Mac, now deceased, but had a lot of potential. So the second foal from the mare, Enjoy in My Life.
Mm-hmm. And Steve's had some success with some trotters recently, so we can probably take his word, but no lines on this one. We'll have to see what she shows us today.
Yeah, he's had a lot of nice trotters over the years, and ones that have raced here at the open level, and here, and yeah, just real good, especially with the trotter. Good with all horses, but has had particular luck with the trotters, and especially on this circuit over the years. Going to go look at the mingling here behind the gate. Hand in the cookie jars. The one in the field that will be coming back did qualify last week. Unfortunately, a mistake at the start and rebounded. Showed 28 and 4 final quarter speed individually, and the son of Muscle Mass will look to rebound here. Team Jameson, we've already seen that scenario in the third where they had one that raced a week ago, made the mistake, came back and was better this week. So, Carl, a veteran like that's going to have, taken into account what happened, gotten the feedback, and we'll try and make those changes for this week.
Yeah, Carl and Jody won't make the same mistake 2 weeks in a row, that's for sure.
They're moving up to the starting gate here, and it looks like we've got the 6 to go here. There was the early scratch, so the other 6 are all set to roll. Let's go back up to Mark McKelvey as the wings of the starting gate open for the 4th.
All right, as we move on with this 4th qualifier now, and the horses are lining up, it's going to be a field of 6 as we do scratch that number 1 Green Energy. Me Up, that'll be the rail starter. Mike Me Up is a gelded son of Muscle Mass, trained by Carl Fellows. Louis Waugh on the bike. $17,000 out of the Harrisburg yearling sale. 3 is Hand in the Cookie Jar, Muscle Mass gelding. Carl Jamieson trains, Jody Jamieson drives. $52,000 U.S. purchase from Harrisburg. 4, Steady Volo is a son of Propulsion, trained by Harry Polton with James McDonald. This one from the Lexington Select sale for $25,000 U.S. 5 is Green Snickers, Green Manalishi colt. Ashley Lenvoy trains, Gino Toscani drives. A yearling purchase for $20,000 U.S. from Lexington. 6 is I Drink She Drives, Green Manalishi colt. Steve Boston's the trainer. Bob McClure will do the driving. This one from Harrisburg for $55,000 U.S. And 7 is Start, a Green Manalishi colt trained by Scott McEnany. Trevor Henry at the controls, $10,000 from Harrisburg. A field of 6. Well, back there is number 6, I Drink She Drives. That one off stride. The others, though, are lined up, and here they come for the fourth qualifier. So they're off and trotting in qualifier number 4, and we give the first call to Green Snickers from the center. At the inside is Hand in the Cookie Jar. Getting away in third, it will be Steady Volo. Meanwhile, Mike Me Up is fourth. Stardust Joe moves behind that rival fifth, and it's well back to the breaker. I Drink, She Drives. That one, though, trotting well now, and will try to catch on up. Opening quarter bound here, and it's Green Snickers, a Green Manalishi Colt, who takes them past that opening marker in 30-3. Green Snickers, Gino Toscani, they are the leader. Green Snickers, first time out. Another breaker off stride coming out of the turn with the 2. Mike Me Up. So it's Green Snickers by a length and a half. Hand in the Cookie Jar is in second, following closely there on the leader. Might come around and will. So there you go. Jameson's going to loop to the lead here with Hand in the Cookie Jar. That'll put Green Snickers back into second. Meanwhile, Steady Volo's behind that one in third. Racing in fourth is Stardust Joe. Fifth is Mike Me Up, who reset, and then it's 15 lengths going back to I Drink, She Drives. A 1:03.3. That was the half-mile time. They were trotting into a bit of a headwind here. That's what they'll be contending with as they move through the second quarters here today. So off a 1:03.3 it's Hand in the Cookie Jar, who is the only horse in this field already with qualifying experience. And this son of Muscle Mass is on top by 6, heading to 3 quarters. Green Snickers in second, Steady Volo in third. Fourth is Stardust Joe. Angling will be Mike Me Up. And last is I Drink, She Drives. 1:33 is the 3-quarter time. So there you go. That was 29-2 in the third quarter, and it's all Hand in the Cookie Jar. Hand in the Cookie Jar leading it by double digits. Steady Volo has come off the back now of Green Snickers and will try to move into second. Mike Me Up's on the outside there in fourth, battling with Stardust Joe, but it was all Hand in the Cookie Jar in qualifier 4. Finishing in second, Steady Volo. Mike Me Up was third. Fourth was Stardust Joe. Then to Green Snickers. And last was I Drink, She Drives. 2:01.2 for Hand in the Cookie Jar.
Well, a great indication there of just what we talked about, the experience of coming here and what a difference a week can make, and for Hand in the Cookie Jar. Just like the stablemate we saw in qualifier number 3. Miscue last week in the first try in a qualifying race, and today no mistakes, and looked really good. 57-4 back half. Half 1:03.3, and as Mark mentioned, they're into a strong headwind, so probably going to see that trend today, maybe slower second quarters and then that big back half speed. But this guy on cruise control late, 2:01.2 for the son of Muscle Mass, with Steady Volo up for second, and a real experience for that one. We talked about a little bit of an incident there when he went onto the racetrack, but none the worse for wear, and looked quite good. And your third place finisher was Mike Me Up, another son of Muscle Mass. So Team Jameson, back to the drawing board after last week, and come back in a couple of winners here this morning.
Yep. And like we said, that's a world-class team there. They're not going to make the same mistake 2 weeks in a row. And again, beat by 7.5 last week, win by 7.5 this week. Much better performance.
This one bred by Blair and Erda Corbeil of Alberta. And Carl and Jody own this one along with Fred Jameson. So the Team Jameson, another exciting prospect on their hands here. Hand in the Cookie Jar, going to get done 2:01.2 for qualifier number 4. So we'll take another commercial break. Back with more in a moment, including a special guest next.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallion. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit TaraHills.com.
I'm awfully glad I won.
The Hamiltonian, it's one of the most prestigious races. It's quite a thrill. It's one of the biggest thrills of my life.
We delivered. The horse delivered. It was amazing. I can't believe it.
I am Stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
This is obviously the pinnacle.
Just something that I can't explain.
This is just an absolute dream come true.
It feels good now, but I'm sure it's going to feel even better tomorrow.
For me to do it, this is my moment.
I might have got a little excited.
Welcome back. Getting set for qualifier number 5 here in a few moments, and I want to welcome a special guest in. He's in town today to watch his horses qualify, and he'll be watching tomorrow night his Prince Hal Hanover, part of the ownership group at the Prince Hal Stable. Rich Pettipaw, longtime owner from Moncton, New Brunswick, and great to have you and Louise in town today. Always fun to see you at this time of year. Thoughts on a couple of babies that went out earlier this morning. Let's start with Alcatraz Blue Chip. He was second there in qualifier number 1, son of Shadow Play. And Ian Moore trains for your group there. And a good runner-up effort. Happy with him?
Yeah, I was happy with him, yeah. Yeah, he been making breaks as of late, training and stuff. So today at least he behaved himself, and no breaks. Seemed to have a lot of speed.
There, we'll get your mic turned on.
Yeah, I'm happy with him. He's been making breaks the last few training trips, so now it seems like Ian's got him straightened out a bit. Today we had no breaks, nice clean start. It was good.
And did you get to? I'll ask you that. Did you talk to Ian afterwards? Was he relatively happy?
No, I didn't talk to him yet today.
Okay. And then you had Brindle. We talked about him as well. He was third, son of Bulldog Hanover, and I guess what were you expecting from him today, and did he meet expectations?
Training down, I thought he wasn't as good as the other horse, but we'll see, right? Sometimes they'll make liars out of you pretty quick, so I hope he makes a liar on us on the good side. That's all.
Yeah, and during the wintertime training down, how often would you get out to see them in person?
I go to Ian's 4 or 5 times in the winter, so every 2-3 weeks.
And maybe just talk about the groups that you're involved with this year on the ownership side, people that you've had long relationships with.
Yeah, a lot of these guys really it's the first time as a relationship. I had horses with Ian for a while, but there's some people in the group that are new this year that I'm involved with and stuff. And great bunch of owners. I mean, when you go there and see them train down in Florida, most of them are there and enjoying the good time. And no, they're a real nice group.
You've had a lot of nice horses you've been involved with over the years, but of course we've got to talk about the beach, some beach somewhere. And you must still look back at his old races. I mean, when you're here today, you see how many of his sons have multiple starters here today, and they're some of the best stallions in the sport. I mean, his legacy lives on.
Yeah, and even his brood mares also, right? No, it's when you watch all that, he definitely changed the breeding for the good, for sure. And yeah, it's awesome just to see his offspring, what they did, and so on and so forth, and again what the brood mares are doing.
And of course, we're on the eve of the Pepsi North America Cup this year, and maybe the most memorable for a lot of people, NA Cup, the year he won it, and the roar of the crowd here at Mohawk Park. It's got to be exciting to be back here, not only to watch, but to be competing. You're part of the Prince Hal Hanover ownership group, and you got a nice shot in there tomorrow night.
Yeah, just to be in, it's a big thing. And I mean, when Beach raced, he was 1-9 on the board. I know this guy definitely won't be 1-9. I think it's a very competitive field. There's at least probably most of them could easily win it, but I mean, we drew the 9-hole, as we all know, and that's going to be a tough way to start, but with Miller, you never know.
The expectations of the harness world were on some beach somewhere that year. How much was it a mix of a lot of pressure, but then on the other hand, just incredible fun and joy to be a part of it?
It's always a horse race. Like one of my friend Ozzie McKay asked me that night, he says, how does it feel to have a shot at 1-9 North America Cup? And I told him it's a horse race, anything can happen, but Beach was so special and he did it so easy that every race was just a great, great treat.
And you've been in the game a long time, of course, back in Atlantic Canada, and and again in the last 15, 20 years, you've had those the big gun horses that are racing in the sport's biggest events. What keeps you so passionate, I guess, about racing, and what is it about the sport you love so much?
It's like a cancer. Once you're in it, and you certainly, when you have a bit of luck, you just can't get out of it anymore, right? But that's, I know. Horse we'd race here by the name of Silent Swing was the same way. I mean, he won the Gold Cup and Saucer for us and stuff, and we were at the high end of the game, and once you're there, it's hard to get out, really.
Well, listen, we will thank you very much, Reg, for taking a few minutes to come over and join us here. And listen, best of luck tomorrow night in the $1 million Pepsi North America Cup.
Thanks, Greg. Okay.
That's Reg Petitpas with a couple of horses qualifying here this morning. Finished second and third with them. He's got Prince Hal Hanover, as mentioned, tomorrow, post 9 in that $1 million big dance. And tonight we kick off the busy weekend with another race card. First 2-year-old event of the season, I believe, Mark McKelvey scheduled for tonight. Is that right?
That's correct, yes. Our first 2-year-old race comes up tonight, and on the heels of a very busy couple of mornings here. 13 in total today as we move on to the 5th qualifier. And we've got a field of 7. Number 1 is Fly Bulldog Fly. This is a Bulldog Hanover colt, trained by Blake McIntosh. Billy Davis is going to drive. Lexington Select Purchase, $35,000 US. 2 is Captain's Legacy, gelded son of Captain Crunch. Francis Dumichel trains, Travis Henry drives. This one from Harrisburg for $6,000 US. 3 is Johnny Wiggles, a Huntsville colt trained by Greg McNair, Doug McNair in the bike. This one from the Lexington Select sale for $30,000. 4, Stonebridge Bluff is a Captain Crunch colt trained by Carl Jamieson, Jody Jamieson in the sulky, $14,000 London Classic purchase. 5, Trust Me Hanover is a Better's Delight colt. Tony Beaton trains, James McDonald steers. This son of Better's Delight was a $22,000 Harrisburg buy. 6 in the field is Dad, Poppy Rob Hanover colt, trained and driven by Dr. Ian Moore. And this one comes out of the Harrisburg sale for $70,000 US. And 7 is Twin B Stanley, gelded son of Cattle Wash. Kyle Fellows trains, Louis Waugh at the controls, $55,000 London Classic buy. So it's a field of 7 in the hands of the starter for qualifier number 5. Gate picking up speed, and here they come. And the raw fan pacing, and it will be Dad who fires the first shot. Meanwhile, Stonebridge Bluff coming away right beside that one as they match strides in the early going. Here on the outside comes Twin B Stanley. That one will be forwardly placed. Rail starter Fly Bulldog Flies getting away in 4th. Johnny Wiggles is then in 5th ahead of Captain's Legacy, and the last one will be Trust Me Hanover as they're into the first turn. It is Dad, the Poppy Rob Hanover colt, out in front for Doc Moore. In second is Stonebridge Bluff. There Twin B Stanley, 29 and 4 was the opening quarter. So Dad is the leader, first time out. In second is Stonebridge Bluff. Couple lengths back to Twin B Stanley. Racing in 4th, that is going to be Fly Bulldog Fly. Gap of about 5 lengths back to Johnny Wiggles. Then second from last as they move up the backside's Captain's Legacy. And behind that one will be Trust Me Hanover. No change in order here. They pace into the wind as they're moving up to the midway point. It is Dad, and this one is clear by 5 lengths by the midway point in a time of 59 and 1. So pacing into the wind there and goes a 29 and 2 second quarter, 59 and 1 onto the far turn. In second has been Stonebridge Bluff. Third remains Twin B Stanley. Fly Bulldog Fly is in 4th. A couple lengths back to Johnny Wiggles in 5th. 2 more lengths into Captain's Legacy. And Trust Me Hanover is still waiting at the back midway around the far turn. So Dad is doing the road work here. Second Stonebridge Bluff, only 2.5 lengths away. Gets a little encouragement there from Jamieson. 128 and 3 for 3 quarters. They spin for home. It is Dad trying to go the distance. Second is Stonebridge Bluff. Twin B Stanley is third at the inside. Fly Bulldog Fly stays on that one's back in 4th. A little fumbly gated. Then in 5th is going to be Johnny Wiggles. But here is Dad, who is just motoring into deep stretch. And it's Dad with an impressive looking debut and is going to win it by about 5. Finishing in second with Stonebridge Bluff. Third was Twin B Stanley. And fourth was Fly Bulldog Fly. 1:55 and 3. 27 seconds home for Dad.
A little bit of the wow factor there for Dad. The Poppy Rob Hanover Colt turns on the afterburners late, 27 and 3 for the big striding son of Poppy Rob Hanover from Paula's Best, who comes from a really good family, a sibling to 4 $200,000 winners, including the likes of Pedro Hanover, Pirouette Hanover, and more. And there he is, kind of on cruise control late here for Dr. Ian Moore, who reemerged in the driver's seat yesterday, had a couple of wins, and he's got another impressive youngster here. He has a nice brigade heading into the season, and congratulations, Wilma and James McKenzie, husband and wife, really nice people. I was chatting with them yesterday. They're so happy and so passionate in the game, and so happy to have horses like this, of course. And you'll recognize their horses. They're easy to pick out. They've got those one-word names, and boy, this guy looked good.
Yeah, he looked super out there, and that's a fantastic mile. And Ian always wants to get out there and be the fastest of the day. I see the McKenzies over there talking to Reg, who just got off the broadcast. Again, big shout out to them. They're here every year, as you said, making a good time investment, a financial investment. It's nice to see their horses always win for them. And like you said, Kit, Cat, Dad.
Yeah.
They like
Jan,
the short names.
Jay.
My dad actually likes those one-syllable names. He likes those. He keep track of them easier.
Good for an announcer as well. A pair of London Classic Sale graduates, second and third, and looked good in their initial qualifying attempts this morning. Stonebridge Bluff, Captain Crunch, bred by Stonebridge Farm, and Twin B Stanley from the Twinbrook Farm, a cattle wash gelding, who was third in there. But again, 27-second last quarter in doing it so easily. And, the athleticism that is on display this early on, it's hard not to think that you're looking at a horse that's going to be somewhere on the stakes trail not that far from now.
Absolutely. We've seen this script before, when Ian comes out with these horses. And there's going to be one or two of them who remain at the top for the entire summer. It happens every year, and again, I love the way his animals go, like you said, big, powerful stride, really picking the feet up and getting out there. Again, not to take anything away from Jody's charge there. Again, a fantastic qualifier for him. But
like, this looks like an aged racehorse.
Beautiful. And, on the inside, he's still a stallion. He wants to rip and tear you apart to some degree there, but he is behaving pretty well. And shout out Joe Tolino for taking good care of him, obviously.
A $70,000 Harrisburg yearling purchase. And, in talking to Ian and reading articles with him and whatnot over the years, he's one of those guys, he really likes the individual. He's looking for that certain sort of, athleticism and body structure. Then you have to have, obviously, some pedigree to go along with it, but he's got a good eye for them, and one of those conditioners that always seems to come up with a few good ones every year. And again, what we've seen the last 2 days, he's really coming into the season loaded up with talent this year.
Absolutely.
We'll take another break. We've got another group of trotters coming up here next. Just before we'll take our intermission break here this morning, you're watching the Rookie Showcase from Woodbine Mohawk Park.
All sports dynasties share one thing.
Home run! Another world championship!
They dominate. Hanover Shoe Farms, the most successful breeder of Hambletonian champions, producing an impressive total of 11 winners, has dominated the race. Purchase Hanover yearlings at Harrisburg. Hanover Shoe Farms, a standard bred dynasty.
It doesn't get any better than that! Wow!
Winback Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including three-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025, the last great son of the legendary Sub Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beach Class, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Winbank Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line by MVP and Trixton. For more information, visit winbankfarm.com.
We have trotters on the track next. Qualifier number 6 is where we go here. Here's a look at Eddie Green. He'll be sending out a Son of Green Manalishi in here, first full of Tallahassee Sealster, the muscle mass mare. And his name is Through Fire and Flames. And he'll leave from post number 1 in here. We've got a sibling to a horse we're going to see in the Good Times tomorrow night. Felix Hanover, your post 4 starter. A sibling to Fadeaway Hanover, and he'll have post 1 in the Good Times final here tomorrow night. Ben Bayerjan trains this guy. Tyler Board scheduled to do the driving in this Son of Green Chew. Ben Bayerjan there, another trainer, local trainer, always near the top of the standings here at Mohawk. Always comes up with trotters that are certainly top level here, and very often Grand Circuit type competitors.
Yeah, very, very good trainer. I said I had a couple conversations with Mr. Bayerjan over the winter, and I can tell he's got a keen eye for detail. Which you really need if you're going to send trotters out here and you're going to have success. So he's always got them trotting right, always got them ready.
Getting a look at the card tomorrow night. So as mentioned, Fadeaway Hanover, we're going to see that one in the Good Times. Post number 1 for Ben, who does the training. So, keeping kind of one eye on things here this morning, and obviously trying to make sure that he's got Fadeaway Hanover ready to go tomorrow night. $227,000 on the line there tomorrow night. That's a great field of 9 in that. Part of a wonderful program here tonight, or tomorrow, I should say, from Mohawk Park. Of course, the signature event of the season, the $1 million Pepsi North America Cup, but you've got events like the Fan Hanover as well. The Good Times, as we mentioned, the Armbro Flight Final for the older trotting mares as part of the program, the 3-year-old open pace, the Mohawk Gold Cup. It's just going to be a lot of fun. I know one gentleman looking forward to it's Mark McKelvey. And Mark, some of the horses we're going to see in those events in the next couple of years competing here this morning.
Could be just that, right? It'd be fun to take a look back at some of the top performers for this weekend in those stakes and look and see exactly where they started. Were they at the races early? Did it take them a little longer? Lots of different paths, I guess you could take. The path we're going to take right now, those qualifier number 6, as they line up a field of 7. Final qualifier before we head into our break. And taking a look here, number 1, Through Fire and Flames, Green Manalishi Colt, Eddie Green for Keelan Green. 2 is Bo Knight, Wheeling and Dealing Colt, Blake McIntosh, the trainer. James McDonald drives. This was a $65,000 purchase from the London Classic. 3 is Rolling in Green, Bob McClure for Paul Reed. This Green Manalishi Colt comes out of Harrisburg for $4,000 US. 4 is Felix Hanover, gelded on a green shoe. Ben Bayerjan trains, Tyler Borth drives. Comes out of the Harrisburg sale for $35 US. 5 is Wolverine Legend, Green Manalishi gelding. Matt Bax trains and drives. 6 is another great mass, a muscle mass colt. Ed Piccone trains. Trevor P. Colt. Desiree Jones trains. Gino Toscani will drive a London Classic buy for $15,000. Starting gate into the stretch, and here they come. Today's 6th qualifier. And they're off and trotting. A miscue at the beginning there for Felix Hanover. That one is off stride in the center as Borth trying to get that one back flat and does right away. Meanwhile, from the outside, it's Guard the Gold. Inside, it's Bo Knight with a good beginning, striding out and got the lead. Another great mass is at that one's wheel and will duck in behind second. Getting away third was Rolling in the Green. Then we're back to Wolverine Legend. From the outside, Guard the Gold. Looked like that one would get a little bit closer, but ultimately he's going to end up there 5th ahead of Through Fire and Flames. And the last one was was Felix Hanover after that steppy beginning. 30-3 was the opening quarter here, and the Trotters move into the backstretch. The leader is Bo Knight, and Bo Knight is on top by 5 lengths. Second is Another Great Mass. In third then is Rolling in Green. Racing in fourth is Wolverine Legend. Fifth up the backstretch is Guard the Gold. It's another 3 or 4 lengths back to Through Fire and Flames, and at the back is Felix Hanover. So all alone on the lead here, this is Bo Knight, and Bo Knight changing up the strategy this week. Last week sat fourth throughout and finished up well, making up some ground with a 27-2 kicker. Here today, cuts the mile. The half was 1 minute and 4/5. It is all Bo Knight, this son of Wheelin' and Dealin'. In second is Another Great Mass. Third is Rolling in Green. Fourth is Wolverine Legend with 5/8 of the mile now contested. Guard the Gold is in fifth, and then we are going to go back to Through Fire and Flames and Felix Hanover. It's Bo Knight to 3/4 in second. As they come to that station is Another Great Mass. 3/4 time was 1:30-3, and they head for home. So Bo Knight, after a 29-4 third quarter, is trying to finish up strong again. Just like last week, kicked home strongly in 27-2, and right now leads this one by 4.5 lengths. Second is Another Great Mass. Wolverine Legends moved into third from Rolling in Green fourth, and as they come to the edge of the tote board, it's all Bo Knight all the way in today's sixth. Second, Another Great Mass. Good-looking debut. Finishing in third was Wolverine Legend, and fourth was Rolling in Green. 1:58-4 for Bo Knight.
After the benefit of one trip behind the gate a week ago, Bo Knight back with another stellar effort. Lowers the time substantially. Was second last week, 2:04-2 charted. 27-2 final quarter on that occasion. Today, 58-4, 28-1 on the end. Doing it pretty effortlessly. The son of Wheeling and Dealin'. And the first foal from the muscle mass mare, Bonamassa. Another great mass. Nice sharp rally to pick up a second in here. This one, a full sibling to a $900,000 winner in Loved by the Masses. Owned and bred by Wade Piccone of Prince Edward Island. And we'll see if this one can follow in the footsteps of the older brother. And Wolverine Legend, talk about a great pedigree here. This one, a Greenman Alishi, sibling to the likes of Bright Eyes M, Millionaire, Righteous Resolve, and Almost Millionaire, Duly Resolved. Some trotters that have bright futures, I think, on display there in qualifier number 6. So we are just about at the midway point of this 13 race session here this morning as the boys take center stage. Jeff, been pretty impressive to watch the youngsters to this point.
Absolutely. It's been a very good morning. And, you know, like you said, the weather isn't maybe as nice as yesterday, but they're still coming out and performing pretty well.
Cool to see the horses that we watched a week ago. Either some that, you know, maybe didn't perform well, made miscues, but some that just were kind of raced conservatively, and then see them take that big step up today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I was looking at some maybe even the other way, you know, some of these horses who do have lines and, you know, like Bo Knight here, you know, was beat by a couple and rolling in the green and, you know, trying to figure out what they did this week, you know. Also seeing who maybe, you know, went backwards a little bit, if I'm honest. But I don't mean to take anything away from all the positive. There have been a lot of positives, but looking at how everybody's doing.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs for sure, and this is just the first step for the career of these youngsters. But, yeah, from what we've seen, it could be a pretty special group this year, I think, and certainly here in Ontario from what we have seen over the first day and a half of the second weekend of the baby races here from Woodbine Mohawk Park. So 6 in the book, 7 more to go. We're going to take our intermission now. We'll sign off here for about the next 10 minutes or so. Then we'll be back with the final 7 on this Friday morning as part of the Rookie Showcase. Welcome back to the Rookie Showcase here on Primetime Racing. It's the second weekend, and day 2. Colts and Geldings here today. 6 completed. We've got 7 more to go, so we're not even at the halfway point here today. Again, we want to thank our... let me turn the volume down on that. We want to thank our sponsors today for making the show possible, as we mentioned. Want to welcome everybody tuning in today as well, and Jeff Hunt for... pinch hitting today and co-hosting, so great job, Jeff, and really appreciate you joining us and offering your insights here today. And I know it's fun for you to get out and watch these as well. And some of the horses you said you're familiar with based on where you're stabled. You're right beside Dr. Ian Moore, and he's had another good day at the office so far. We're going to see more of his offspring coming up later. 3 wins in total yesterday. I should say 2 that he drove himself. And then he's already had an impressive Poppy Rob Hanover Colt winning today. He's Trainer of the Year in 2023 for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could say he deserves a few more of those awards. We certainly can have that debate. Again, I do enjoy watching the Ian Moore trainees. He comes to Shamrock, for most of the summers. Sometimes he escapes over to Classy Lane to train them, so I don't necessarily get to see them train all the time. But I do support him, and you know what? He is our ace pitcher on the Horseman Slow Pitch team midweek. So we love to see him get out here, and we love to see him compete. Yeah. We love to see it.
We give him the accolades for his horsemanship. But it's really on the ball field that they say he truly excels.
Yeah, and I don't know. He's the same as all of us out here. If you say we're competing at something, he's out there to win.
He'll send out 8 in total today. Again, we've already seen a real impressive winner earlier today. His name is Dad, and I think appropriate as well. Father's Day weekend, of course, and today being July the 13th, I don't know how many superstitious folks we have here today, but 13 qualifiers appropriately here today. So 7 more left to go. I want to welcome those tuning in today. I'm just on one of the feeds, the HRU Facebook channel, and we've got Jack Warner tuning in there. Kay Belsfield's watching in from Pennsylvania. Good morning to Kay. Gary Billington tuning in from England, and great to have him on board. J.D. Varnell as well. Yeah, Patricia Martin from Sherlock, Michigan, tuning into the coverage today. It's wonderful to have everybody on board on our different platforms here this morning.
YouTube comments there?
That is on our Facebook page, our Harness Racing Update Facebook page. We're on several different platforms, a couple of the YouTube channels as well. Standardbred Canada streaming this morning. So wherever you are watching, it's great to have you. And it's been a lot of fun so far, and we've got a field of 7 coming up here as we're back on the pace to kick off the back half of the program. And a mix of pedigrees in here. We talked about Ian. He's got a Bulldog Hanover Colt in here named Odds On Bullfrog. This one owned and bred by Odds On Racing of Florida. Sibling to just one called Odds On Wildfire. Just 9 starts into that one's career, but already a 5-time winner with a mark of 151. And this is the second foal now for the mare, son of Bulldog Hanover. And we've seen a few of the Bulldogs. They're looking pretty good so far. And again, a couple of winners here recently on the filly side of things, and we'll see one in here. And then some of the old familiar faces of the Ontario program well represented, including Big Jim, as he's got Corona Sealster post 3.
Big Jim's still kicking around. And yeah, I think you alluded to it on yesterday's shows, but the Bulldog Hanovers, they did look really, really good at the sale this fall. And all of the ones I've seen come out here on the track so far have kept that look up, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've got 2 in this particular field. Run to the Hills, the other one, this one a homebred of Joe Tonelli of Alberta. And Bob McClure scheduled to do the driving on that one. D.A. Bodacious is a London sale graduate, one of those 6-figure babies that we touched on at the beginning of the show. A cattle wash brother to a good one called Rise and Shine Seaside. Now, he's been racing south of the border. He's got a 48-3 mark, almost $400,000 earned. And D.A. Bodacious was one that I remember going through the sales ring last fall, and he was a looker. And Bill Donovan of Florida ended up, he was in town and purchased that one.
Yeah. And I see Dan Legacy's busy out here today. He's got a mitt full of horses. I was talking to Brooke there on the break, and she's excited about a couple out of that barn.
Sports writer represented in here as well with the post-4 starter Sport of Kings. Courtly Choice, he's got a son here called Court's Choice, post-7 for that one. Full field of 7 here. Once again, Mark McKelvey with the call.
All right, here we go. The 7th qualifier today, a field of 7. Number 1, Never Leave Harlan, is a cattle wash colt. Greg McNair trains. Doug McNair will drive a $50,000 Lexington Select purchase. 2, Run to the Hills. Here's a Bulldog Hanover, trained by Gabby Sasso, Bob McClure driving. This one purchased from the Lexington Select sale for $80,000 US. 3 is Corona Sealster, gelded son of Big Jim. Victor Putty trains. It'll be Tyler Borth driving. $55,000 London Classic buy. 4 is Sport of Kings, a sports writer colt trained by Scott McEnany. Trevor Henry in the bike. This one coming out of the Harrisburg sale for $7,000 US. 5 is D.A. Bodacious, cattle wash colt. Dan Legacy trains. James McDonald drives. $140,000 purchase from the London Classic. 6 is Odds On Bullfrog, Bulldog Hanover colt, trained by Dr. Ian Moore, Louis Waugh on the bike. And 7 is Court's Choice, Blake McIntosh trains. Billy Davis drives. And this Courtly Choice son was a $52,000 purchase from the Lexington Select sale. So the starting gates into the stretch, and here they come, qualifier number 7. And they're off and pacing at the inside. Never Leave Harlan is going to just leave out of there nicely from the rail. We had a breaker there. Off stride briefly went the 3 Corona Sealster. From the outside, Court's Choice pointed to the front. Meanwhile, Odds On Bullfrogs to the outside third. And then slipping ahead into that 4-hole, it looks like that'll be D.A. Bodacious to settle. That one's able to land in front of Sport of Kings. Then we will go back to Run to the Hills. Last is Corona Sealster. And making it to the lead here before the opening quarter, Odds On Bullfrog wasn't just going to take a seat. Instead, gets up to the front and took him past that opening panel in 31-2. So it's Odds On Bullfrog, this son of Bulldog Hanover, in his qualifying debut, leads it by a little more than a length and a half. Court's Choice gets to ride in second. It's about 2.5 lengths back to Never Leave Harlan in third. Tracked then fourth by D.A. Bodacious. Racing fifth is Sport of Kings. On that one's back sixth is Run to the Hills, and seventh is Corona Sealster. So that's how they set up into the first turn. They'll remain that way up to the half. Odds On Bullfrog is there in 102-2. Second quarter was 31 seconds even, again going into a headwind as they move up the backstretch. Now on to this big sweeping far turn here at Mohawk, and the leader is Odds On Bullfrog by 2. Court's Choice in second, 2.5 lengths back to Never Leave Harlan third. Fourth for the time being is D.A. Bodacious, another 4 lengths back to Sport of Kings. Run to the Hills is right behind that one, and then the trailer is Corona Sealster as they come to 3 quarters, and Odds On Bullfrog well in hand here at that marker in 131-3. Top of the stretch off of 29 1/3 quarter. Odds On Bullfrog now looks to kick it into high gear. Second has been Court's Choice, and that one is moved to the outside and is trying to gain some ground. Behind is Never Leave Harlan in third. D.A. Bodacious is staying behind that rival and now starting to angle. As we come into deep stretch, it's still Odds On Bullfrog. Court's Choice asks for a little more, trying to get up there. Inside is Never Leave Harlan. Off stride is D.A. Bodacious. It was Odds On Bullfrog winning in 159 flat.
Odds On Bullfrog giving Bulldog Hanover his first colt winner here at Woodbine Mohawk Park in the baby races. And this one, homebred of Odds On Racing, was put on the front early and takes it all the way. Last quarter, 27 2/5 seconds, and needed to go there to hold off a couple of rivals who were finishing right up with him. Never Leave Harlan, son of Cattle Wash. Looks like he got up for second, I believe. Court's On Choice was right there. No, Court's On Choice held on for second. My apologies. And then Never Leave Harland right there in finishing third. Top three, not too far off each other. Break and stride for D.A. Bodacious. That one looked to be in contention, and then one asked for a bit of speed late, jumped it off, so we'll see that one back in action here this morning. But odds on Bullfrog getting it done here in qualifier number 7. And it was Louis Philippe in the driver's seat for the win.
And like you said, Bulldog Hanover here, and Mark McKelvey up there, I hope you can hear me. He was reminding me last night that this first crop of Bulldogs here was kind of after his 3-year-old year before he had set the world record, right? So sort of what Mark was saying, maybe a little test crop, maybe not the highest quality mares as he was going to get the following year. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Like I said, good looking animals. I think that one there looks a little more fine than some of the cattle wash and the Poppy Rob Hanover that he brought out here. But like I said, interesting to see what this crop will be compared to even next year's crop of Bulldogs.
Yeah, I know the mares that went to him after that electrifying season, were incredible. It was kind of a who's who. So yeah, he's gonna get a real great opportunity in the second crop. And what we've seen so far, for the most part, looking good from him. So we've talked about it a lot in the last few days. The wealth of talent in the stallion ranks in Ontario, I think deeper than I've ever seen it.
Yeah. Like I said, I haven't been around forever. I'm maybe not the one to talk about long term, but certainly, as I said, I was going over everybody that was entered here, and it actually did look like a fun set of sires when you're going through the pacing side. We get a little criticism on the trotting side that we have fewer options to go to, but there are still options on that side as well. But certainly, really fun to be on the pacing side in Ontario right now.
We'll take another quick commercial break and return with more of the Rookie Showcase next.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
Harness Racing Update covers the sport from all the angles, with news, opinion, features, photography, and the most comprehensive racing, breeding, and sales stories in the game from around the globe. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. Plus, HRU's popular Twos in Training series on YouTube gives you the first look at the stars of tomorrow. And the best news, it's all free. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com.
Returning to the pace, qualifier 8 coming up here this morning. Another Friday morning marathon with 13 baby races in total. 2 scratches in this upcoming event. The 3 Granite Sealster, number 5 Hangry Boy will not be going postward here, down to a field of 5 on the pace. Again, it is Pepsi North America Cup weekend. Want to remind you that the big event is coming up here tomorrow evening. $1 million up for grabs, 13 races going to the post then. Jeff, you're going to be in Hanover tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Driving?
sir. Yes, sir. I'll be racing.
Afternoon card, though, so you'll get to make it back for the big show tomorrow night?
Yeah, absolutely. We'll drop the horse off, and we'll boot over here to see how many people come out to support us tomorrow night and see the big night.
What a night that's going to be. And we hope you can get to the racetrack. There's a lot going on here. Make sure to visit the website, woodbine.com/Mohawk/events, and you can get all the information on this year's Pepsi North America Cup as far as live on track. The wagering menu, very attractive, $100,000 guaranteed early pick 5 tomorrow night. An all stakes pick 5 starts in the 7th. That's also guaranteed at 100, and a big jackpot high 5 mandatory payout tomorrow night, more than $421,000 and a mandatory payout. But if you can't make it to the track, don't forget you can tune in on Game Plus the first edition of the Pepsi North America Cup to be televised on Game Plus tomorrow night, and we'll have the special bonus coverage of 1 hour starting at 9 p.m. on our social media feeds, leading right into the show on Game Plus TV. So Mark McKelvey, myself, will be on board for that tomorrow night. Many ways you can watch. Jamie McDonald's going to be joining us for the broadcast too. And again, you want to be here in person if you can. There's a lot of great stuff planned on track here tomorrow evening. It's the biggest race in Canadian harness racing, the $1 million Pepsi North America Cup. Going to look at some of the starters in here. Field of 5, as we mentioned. And some nice pedigree potential in here. A couple of London Sale graduates. You were asking me earlier, Jeff, about, it must be fun to watch, graduates of the sale from last year. And yeah, for sure. I mean, there were ones that that you saw go through the sales ring down there, and you're kind of waiting anxiously, and then when the qualifiers come out to see them in action, see which ones are ready immediately. So 2 of them in here. Number 1, Lions First Bulldog for Anthony Beaton, and number 5, Rip the Page. This one for Team McNair, son of sports writer, and another of those great Ontario stallions that's still going strong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sports writers, they're funny animals to be around. Sometimes they don't make you feel like they're your favorite horse, but if you can get a good one, they can go. I saw one come off in the last qualifier too. They're good-looking animals too. Big bodies.
So the starting 8 just moving into position now, down to a field of 5. Qualifier number 8. Back up to Mark.
All right, here we go. Qualifier number 8 from downtown Campbellville as we are set for this 8th qualifier. Number 1 is Lions First Bulldog. This is a Bulldog Hanover, trained by Tony Beaton. James McDonald drives, $25,000 London Classic buy. 2, J.M. Mazingan, Cattle Wash Colt. Ryan Stewart trains Trevor Henry in the bike. 3 is Scratch for all the right places. Gelded on a Cattle Wash. Kyle Fellows trains. The driver's Louis Waugh. $50,000 Lexington Select buy. 5 is Out. 6 is Rip the Page, sports writer Colt, trained by Greg McNair. The driver is Doug McNair, a $32,000 London Classic purchase. And 7 is Dancing in the Dark, a Dancing Lou Colt. Jerry Sims trains. Scott Young drives, $25,000 London Classic purchase. A couple of scratches here. The 3 and the 5 brings us down to a field of 5 for the 8th. So we're getting set to go, and we'll see if in this 8th qualifier we can have another Bulldog Hanover Colt get the job done. Already saw that just in the recent 7th qualifier. So here in the 8th, a field of 5. All of them making their debut, except for number 7, Dancing in the Dark, who kicked home in 27-2 and was clocked in 57-4 first time out. Let's see what that one has for a follow-up. Here we go, 8th qualifier today. They're off and pacing. Rip the Page coming ahead. So too, Dancing in the Dark. And Dancing in the Dark will get out in front from Rip the Page in second. It is Lions First Bulldog away from the rail in third, as all the right places should be able to settle in behind that rival. Lands right in front of J.M. Mazingan as they hit the first turn. Dancing in the Dark is out in front for Scott Young, leading it by 2.5 lengths. Rip the Page in second. The opening quarter pops up on the board in 30-2. So Dancing in the Dark, as mentioned, second tour of the Mohawk Park Oval. Last week sat back in 6th, got underway at 3/4, and again kicked home in 27-2. And as we've seen a few times here today, those coming out for a second time, doing the road work. That's the case for Dancing in the Dark, as Rip the Page is second. Right behind that one, Lions First Bulldog is in third. And then everyone else tightens up as well. All the right places. J.M. Mazingan, looks like that one's starting to come out to the outside, as they were by the half in 101-3. Second quarter was in 31-1. And as they were able to bunch up there, They should pick it up for the back half now. Dancing in the dark by 2. Rip the Page in second. Lions first, Bulldog is third. As mentioned, J.M. Mazingan was ready to go at the back, is on the outside, is advanced up into fourth. That puts all the right places at the inside. Fifth to 3/4. Dancing in the dark by a length and a half. Rip the Page getting the 2-hole ride. 3/4 time, 1:31 3. 30 seconds even in the third quarter and into the stretch and out of the deuce. Rip the Page is looking to shoot by. It's Dancing in the dark trying to respond. Rip the Page. Lions first, Bulldog is in behind the early leader, starting to fan out a little bit. Gets onto the back of Rip the Page, who has taken the lead as they come into deep stretch. Rip the Page. Lions first, Bulldog now off that one's back for that late push. Both these finishing well. It was Rip the Page from Lions first, Bulldog. Dancing in the dark was third. All the right places fourth, and J.M. Mazingan fifth. 1:58 and 4 for Rip the Page.
Rip the Page off the pocket trip, getting it done here at First Asking. Sports writer Colt, first full from the Mach 3 mare DG's Fairy Stars, a $32,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase sent out here by Team McNair. Very workmanlike effort, I thought, from this one. The other London Classic graduate, Lions first, Bulldog, finishing a lap on second. Nice trip here. He was anxious to get rolling here, and James kept him in on the helmet here. Just tips off cover late. Nice late gains from him as well, kind of doing it the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both of them did a very good job there. You know, Youngie cut it out, and they're going to come around. James, you know, a little bit of a tougher trip on his, so you know, you'd almost say he, you know, you'd look for maybe a little bit better next time out. You know, maybe a little bit easier trip to the wire. Again, home 27-1, if I'm not wrong. Another impressive finish for at least 3 of them there.
Yep, Dancing in the Dark did the road work, was right there in the top 3 as well in that quick final half. So 2 solid qualifiers for that son of Dance and Lou for his trainer, Jerry Sims. Going to look at them coming back here and Rip the Page, getting it done. So a sports writer, yep, still clicking, as you said. And, you know, kind of a mid-level purchase price for this guy. Team McNair, again, talk about familiarity there. And Doug and his dad, Greg, able to kind of work together with these youngsters right from the training process to this point. Got to be a bit of an advantage for them.
Yeah, I think so. And I think back to, you know, my experience working with my father and, you know, just getting the ability to drive and be there throughout the week. And yeah, I think just when you come off the bike, you're kind of on the same page. You know, you've got sort of the same sayings or the same things you're looking for, and you go to the horse, and you know, just fewer words have to be said when you get off the bike for the trainer and the driver to both know what needs to happen for next week. So yeah, they're probably a very you know, ironed out outfit, that's for sure.
Yeah. Speaking of your dad, Pat, you know, a really accomplished career, as you said. What were some of the philosophies that would have guided him as a top trainer?
Yeah, you know, my dad is a pretty even keel guy. You know, he doesn't tend to blame anyone for things that go wrong. I think maybe the most amazing thing that I got through my father is that, you know, he did drive and train for most of his career. By the time I hopped on, you know, he wasn't even driving. So when neither one of us were driving, we were watching from the side. And my dad doesn't really need to be in the driver's seat to know whether the horse was good or not. And the best thing about him is, you know, he doesn't really blame anybody else, but we just kind of regroup, figure out what's wrong with the horse, and go back out next week without, like I said, without really holding any anger towards what happens out there or blaming anybody. And I think that's it. Just nice and easy. Get the horse gated really well. You know, treat it well, feed it well, and
patience is a virtue.
Exactly, and that's how you get the most out of them, right?
All right, let's take another quick break in the action. We'll be back with another group of trotters. They're heading out to the track next.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Tara Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallions. Green Manilishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi. World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit TaraHills.com.
The London Classic Yearling Sale, Canada's premier standardbred auction, returns this October to the Western Fair District Agriplex. The nation's leading consigners choose the London Classic, offering hundreds of yearlings by many of the sport's leading sires, all under one roof at one of North America's best venues. Recent sale graduates include Canada's Rookie Pacing Colt of the Year, Stonebridge Wizard, O'Brien Award finalist Paquette, and O'Brien Award winning double millionaire Logan Park. The London Classic Yearling Sale, where your dollar goes further and where champions are found. Find out more at londonclassic.ca.
A look there at number 2. Who's number 2 in here? Is it High Value? Yep, High Value. There it is. My MVP Colt heading out to the racetrack here. One of another couple in here from the London Classic Yearling Sale last year. $14,000 purchase. And this one bred by Winback Farm. Second full of Gallery Girl. And the first full was a winner. So we'll see if High Value can make it a second consecutive for that mare, and on track right now here in weekend number 2 of the qualifying action. Kyle Bossens does the training. Trevor Henry in the driver's seat. Simply Chaotic also came out of the London sale, son of Trixton. We've already seen Trixton with a winner earlier today for driver Rick Ziron. Land the Plane is one that Carl Jamieson, I spoke with him earlier today, that was kind of excited to watch go today. It's a tactical landing, first time we're going to see him. And out of the Cadaver Mare Shapeshifter, she is a sister to the $1.3 million winner Allegiant, a top trotting filly. And a nice family for Land the Plane, a $62,000 Lexington purchase. Team Jamieson's already had a good day and could very well make it a third winner.
Easily.
Trying to equal what Ian Moore did yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. They don't want to let him go with all the glory, right? Yeah, and again, you see in here, I'm excited to see Tyler's horse here, Wolfpack Crown again. As you see, we've already seen Bo Knight come back with another strong effort this week, finished second to Wolfpack Crown here last week. So, it would be interesting to see if Wolfpack Crown can come back with even a better effort.
He looked really good last week. 203-3, but it was that 27-4 final quarter that caught your eye. Mm-hmm. One of 3 in the field here that did qualify a week ago, so you would expect that they're going to be, forwardly spotted probably in this group here today. There's IM. Talk about a bargain basement purchase, $9,000 Harrisburg purchase from Readily Express. Maybe not a real well-known stallion in North America, but there's some pedigree potential to go on here. This one is a sibling to the $492,000 winner in Memo. So time will tell, but for $9,000, I think worth a shot in here. Yeah, Mark McKelvey, anyone catching your eye here in this field of 6 as they move up to the gate?
Yeah, just catching some of your final comments there, guys, and I think certainly keep an eye on the one Simply Chaotic, just because of that way that one finished up last week in what was one of the slower races of the morning, but was sitting well back before a good 27-second final quarter. And just a good experience for that one. James McDonald will take over the driving this morning, and that's where we'll start with number 1, Simply Chaotic, a Trixton colt. Dominic Ladew trains. This was a $19,000 London Classic yearling sale purchase. 2 is High Value. It's Trevor Henry for Kyle Bossens, a son of My MVP, $14,000 out of the London Classic. 3, Wolfpack Crown, 6-pack colt. Tyler Moore trains. Bob McClure to drive. 4, I Am, Readily Express colt, trained by Herb Holland. Driver is Louis Waugh. And I Am was a Lexington Select by $9,000 US. 5, You Can Dream, a Walner colt. Blake McIntosh trains. Billy Davis to steer. This one comes out of the Lexington Select sale for $30,000 US. And 6 is Land the Plane, tactical landing colt trained by Carl Jamieson. Jody Jamieson driving, and from the Lexington Select sale for $62,000 US. So it's a field of 6 lined up for qualifier number 9. Starting gate into the stretch as the field of 6 set to go. Today's 9th. They're off and trotting, and it's a break at the start for number 6, Land the Plane. Down the center of the track, You Can Dream has moved out to the lead. Simply Chaotic from the rail to get away in second as Wolfpack Crown drops in behind third. High Value is in fourth, then to I Am in fifth. And after that break at the start, Land the Plane back trotting and will get right in behind the nearest rival as they're single file heading to the opening quarter. The leader is You Can Dream, this son of Wallner, up to the opening quarter by a length and a half on Simply Chaotic. Opening panel was 30-4. So the leader here is You Can Dream from Simply Chaotic in second. Right there third, that is Wolfpack Crown. Fourth is High Value. Making a break, exiting the first turn went I Am. So Land the Plane can step in forward to fifth as they head up the backside now. Second start for You Can Dream of the qualifying variety. Meanwhile, Simply Chaotic is tracking closely there on that one's helmet. 2 lengths or so back to Wolfpack Crown in third. Fourth is High Value. Fifth is Land the Plane. And then well back to I Am, who made the miscue. 1:01.2 was the half-mile time, and the Trotters make their way into the far turn. You Can Dream, who last week qualified while sitting fourth, finished up in 28-3. 2:05 was the individual clocking. This one has right in behind Simply Chaotic, who was a good closer last week. 2-hole ride for Simply Chaotic, right there third, 3 lengths off the front. Wolfpack Crown, right there fourth is High Value, and then it's 7 lengths back to Land the Plane. I Am is last, 131-4 for 3/4. So the Trotters come into the stretch here, and they're starting to angle out of the 2-hole. Simply Chaotic and goes right by there on the leader, You Can Dream. Simply Chaotic takes the lead. Behind is Wolfpack Crown. Outside is High Value back to Land the Plane. So it's Simply Chaotic. Here comes Wolfpack Crown now, and Wolfpack Crown getting on even terms, edging on by late. It'll be Wolfpack Crown. Simply Chaotic to finish in second, and then we'll go back to High Value in third. Fourth was Land the Plane, followed by You Can Dream fifth. 2 minutes and 3/5 for Wolfpack Crown.
Wolfpack Crown is now 2 for 2 in morning action. Set of 6-pack. Pocket trip, change it up a little bit this week. Went to the front, did all the road work last week, and the experience now of following a helmet. So really, from a from a trainer's perspective, it'd have to be coming into the first whenever the debut race will be about as good as you'd want a horse coming in.
As good as you'd want. If I'm honest, watching that trip the whole way, I thought Wolfpack Crown looked the best the entire way. The 2 on the front seemed a little iffy for me at times. I thought Wolfpack Crown and Bobby just seemed to be floating there really well. And we're looking at the last quarters here, and it's Simply Chaotic showed a little bit more speed last time out than Wolfpack Crown. We got that little matchup at the top of the stretch to see if Wolfpack Crown could be the faster this week. He certainly was. Looked like Simply Chaotic maybe didn't have it tonight, this morning here, but like you said, if I'm Tyler Moore right now, Tyler Moore, the trotting guy, shout out Tyler Moore. You got to be pretty hopeful going into the season to start right now. Yeah, hopefully we can keep that thing sound and healthy all summer, and things look pretty good. That's a nice trotter.
And probably few better than a Bob McClure at this stage, right? To bring a horse along the right way.
No, on a young trotter like that, that's what Bobby's really good at, sitting there, keeping them calm and making sure they know that their job is to finish through the wire.
Hey, he's a Hambletonian winner, right? So we'll see what's in store for 6-pack. The 6-pack son, I should say. 6-pack himself was a Hambletonian competitor, Hambletonian elimination competitor, and one of the top trotters of his crop. And he's got some nice ones hitting the racetrack. The good ones, they have a look to them, and Wolfpack Crown doing everything the right way so far. Simply Chaotic, good runner-up effort for that, son of Trixton in second. High Value, first trip behind the gate, finishing a close-up third in that 2 minutes and 3/5 clocking, with 28-4 final quarter speed for the winner, Wolfpack Crown. Another break coming up, and when we return, we'll look at another field of 8 two-year-old pacers.
Harness Racing Update covers the sport from all the angles, with news, opinion, features, photography, and the most comprehensive racing, breeding, and sales stories in the game from around the globe. It's all delivered by a deep, diverse, and talented team of writers and photographers. Plus, HRU's popular Twos and Training series on YouTube gives you the first look at the stars of tomorrow. And the best news? It's all free. Subscribe to HRU today for free at harnessracingupdate.com.
All sports dynasties share one thing.
Home run! Another world championship!
They dominate. Hanover Shoe Farms, the most successful breeder of Hambletonian champions, producing an impressive total of 11 winners, has dominated the race. Purchase Hanover yearlings at Harrisburg. Hanover Shoe Farms, a standard bred dynasty.
It doesn't get any better than that! Wow!
We are at Woodbine Mohawk Park this morning. 9 races into a 13-race qualifying session for the babies. 2-year-old colts and geldings today, both trotters and pacers. Earlier today, we caught up with Reg Pettipas in town today. Owns a couple of 2-year-olds who qualified earlier. He'll be racing Prince Hal Hanover in the NA Cup tomorrow evening. He was part of the ownership group of the Great Sun Beach Somewhere, a past NA Cup winner. And we were just marveling at how his legacy continues to live on, Jeff. And you just look at today's qualifiers and the sons of Sun Beach Somewhere that are now making their mark in the Stallion Shed. And it's an incredible group. We've got, 5 of them listed on screen there, including former NA Cup winner Captain Treacherous, Cattle Wash, who's making some noise, Huntsville, Poppy Rob, Hanover had a very impressive winner earlier, Stay Hungry, and even a grandson in NA Cup winner, Captain Crunch, represented today.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And what's that saying, they don't appreciate you till you're gone or something? And, I mean, we appreciated this guy early on in his career, after his career in the breeding shed, and we're appreciating him now after he's gone as well. I mean, just a remarkable animal, and it's unfortunate that we lost him when he did. He was really going to take Ontario to higher places.
Yeah, when you think all-time greats in the sport, if he's not there, he's in that conversation as top 2 or 3. It's always a matter of opinion, but what he did on the racetrack, but then in that 10-year window or so that he had as a stallion before unfortunately his early passing. When you look back at his sire statistics, on average they're incredible, and then seeing what his sons are doing and his daughters as well as broodmares, incredible
work. I don't know what the key to it is. We don't know how to find those guys when we're buying them at the sale, but when you're fortunate enough to get one, you appreciate it for a long time.
$40,000 yearling purchase, I believe he was at the time, and look what he's gone on to be.
Well, they must have seen something. Even that's a little bit of money for sure.
So here we are, qualifier number 10, and a couple of the sons of the Great Sun Beach are represented here, including Captain Treacherous. He's been really one of the sport's dominant pacing sires now for a number of years, right up at the top in most categories each and every year. Cattle Wash has said kind of the new face here in Ontario that people are excited about, and he's well represented in this particular group as well. Look at some of the horses that we'll see in here. Jasper Hill from the Tony Beaton stable. He's had a nice group out here this morning. I think 10 altogether from his stable. This one owned by longtime owner Tom Hill, who now calls Hamilton, Ontario home, and bred this one. And good pedigree. Pretty Catherine the mare, sibling to 4 winners of $150,000, a good one herself on the racetrack, mating with Cattle Wash here. So Jasper Hill is one that I think people are going to have some eyes on.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you mentioned, coming out of Mr. Beaton's barn, we'll be expecting it to be ready.
Ones that are coming back this week for a second go-round include the one no wait list. Cattle Wash, who was a winner a week ago, firing home at 26-3 to get it done on that occasion. Lunar Sport, who was a runner-up a week ago, paced his own mile in 58-2 and was just beaten, paced in 26-4 home on that occasion. A son of sports writer, he's in action again. We've got Mountain Dancer, the 4, Cattle Wash, who was 4th last week in his first try. And Twin Bee Cabo, another Cattle Wash, post 6 for this Paul Cameron trainee. He was second last week, but check out his final quarter, his individual final quarter a week ago, 26 seconds on the nose.
Was the wind? The wind must have been on the opposite side of the track last week, huh?
It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was like pushing them or anything like that, but it certainly there wasn't the headwind that we have in the backstretch here today. So this is an intriguing group. If you're going to look at a race today at the beginning of the day and say which is one of the ones we're most looking forward to seeing, Mark McKelvey, it might just be this one. Good-looking group lining up.
Absolutely. As we've got the horses moving into their positions here. Prior today. One is No Waitlist, a cattle wash colt. Tyler Moore trains, Louis Waugh drives. $41,000 buy from the London Classic. 2 is Lunar Sport, sports writer colt. Blake McIntosh, the trainer. Billy Davis will drive. This was a $13,000 London Classic grad. 3 is Jasper Hill, cattle wash colt. Tony Beaton trains. Doug McNair drives. 4 is Mountain Dancer. Rod Boyd, the trainer. Tyler Bortham, the sulky, a son of cattle wash. 5, Gobi Hanover, Captain Treacherous colt. Desiree Jones trains. Driver's going to be Gino Toscani. This was a $27,000 U.S. purchase from Harrisburg. 6 is Twin Beak Cabo. Gelded son of cattle wash. Paul Cameron trains. Jody Jameson driving. This one from Harrisburg for $22,000 U.S. 7 is Bojangles, another cattle wash colt. Dr. Ian Moore trains and drives. This one from Harrisburg for $65,000 U.S. And 8 is Sweet Lovin' Lou, a Sweet Lou colt trained by Dan Legacy. And the driver is James McDonald. This one comes out of Harrisburg for $70,000 U.S. Picks up speed as they're in the stretch. Here comes this field of 8 for qualifier number 10. And they're off and pacing, and from the inside, No Waitlist. Shooting forward, coming away from post 6, Twin B Cabo, quickly driving on up, and that one will rush right into the 2-hole in front of Lunar Sport 3rd. Inside is Mountain Dancer 4th. Gobi Hanover's at that one's outside, dropping back 5th now into 6th as Jasper Hill shoots ahead of position. Then we go to Bojangles, and last is Sweet Lovin' Lou. Yeah, away from the inside, No Waitlist, not waiting here. 28-3, a sharp opening quarter. So it is No Waitlist, the leader. 2nd is Twin B Cabo. In 3rd is Lunar Sport. Going back to Mountain Dancer in 4th. 5th is Jasper Hill. 6th then is Bojangles. 7th is Sweet Lovin' Lou. And ultimately, Gobi Hanover drops to the back and races in 8th. A 2-length leader up front here is No Waitlist. A good-looking winner in the debut last week. And this son of cattle wash is clear by 2. 2nd is Twin B Cabo. Then in 3rd is Lunar Sport. 4th is Mountain Dancer as they were by the half in 58-3. 30 seconds flat in the second quarter. So the cattle wash colts are 1-2 onto the far turn. No Waitlist, Twin B Cabo. 3rd then is Lunar Sport. 5 lengths going back to Mountain Dancer in 4th. 5th into the far turn is Jasper Hill. Here comes Bojangles underway as that one moves to the outside and is quickly advancing. Then coming up is Sweet Lovin' Lou, and last is Gobi Hanover. 3 quarters, his hit in 1:26-4. So you can see how they were getting spaced out a bit there. 28-1 in the 3rd quarter. Into the stretch, it's been No Waitlist. On that one's back has been Twin B Cabo, who's been tracking nicely. 3rd then is Lunar Sport. Check out Bojangles, who got underway on the far turn, finishing up again strongly down the lane. But up front, it's No Waitlist. No Waitlist. Twin B Cabo, a length and a half back. No Waitlist. Another good performance wins it. 2nd was Twin B Cabo. Big effort from Bojangles to get up for 3rd. Lunar Sport was 4th. Check out the time there. 1:53-4. 27 seconds home. Fastest mile of the season as it goes to No Waitlist.
Yowza. 1:53-4.
Well, we
and look at him on the run out.
Yeah, he's still feeling himself. Well, that's exciting.
That's a head turner.
That's a head turner. You know, I think the other head turner earlier was Ian himself in 55 there. And this sets up a good little rivalry, Tyler versus his father, at maybe some of these stakes events here.
No wait list. He's a son of cattle wash, and the way he left out of there from post one immediately caught our attention here, and rolled through middle half fractions that were pretty solid today going into the headwind, and then to kick home in 27 seconds fairly effortlessly. That is impressive, to say the least. That might be the understatement of the day. This guy 2 for 2, and we said coming into the day they're looking to lower their time a little bit, maybe a second or two from week to week. How about 6 seconds?
Yeah, I don't think we saw that coming, and who knows what Tyler was expecting. He may have known this horse was good enough, but that's impressive, regardless whether you knew it was coming or not.
Twinbee Cabo runner-up and closed well, and then Bojangles kind of from left field really charging as well.
Yeah, that'll be a big back half for Bojangles. You'd want to circle that one and pencil that one in your bets.
So at the beginning we said, if you're looking at the 13 races today, this is one that you were intrigued to watch because there were so many that looked good, that showed a lot last week in the first weekend, and you knew that we could see something like this today. But I think this is even a little bit more than we thought going in, especially with weather conditions today. A little bit cool, a little bit breezy, and especially into the backstretch. So no wait list. What an early statement this guy is making. And nice 27-second final quarter, as we mentioned, and look at the body language on him coming back.
Super. And as you mentioned heading into that one, that was probably one of the races you'd circle on your card. There were some horses in there to watch, in the end it comes out better than you thought.
This guy, a London Classic Sales graduate, and I would have to think now as we look, we talked earlier, the stake season will be just around the corner. And with 2-year-olds, to see where they're going to emerge right off the bat, safe to say we'll likely see this guy in that first gold, as long as he comes out of things okay today.
Yeah, and there's a different feeling around that qualifier and one earlier. Sometimes you can maybe tell when the more favorite horses or the nicer horses are coming out. There's a little bit more of a buzz out here. When some of these qualifiers come out. Some of them are a little quiet, but there's been 2 out here, and that was one of them where there's a little more energy out here, and everyone's excited for what those horses can do.
Speaking of excited, I'd say that guy on your right probably is Tyler Moore and Louis-Philippe Roy. I'm sure they have lots to talk about there after that effort. No wait list. 53-4 fastest 2-year-old in Canada so far this season. Time for another commercial. Back with race 11. Another group of pacers coming up.
Woodbine Farm of Ontario is home to outstanding sires, including a 3-time millionaire pacer tattoo artist who is new in 2025, the last great son of the legendary Sub Beach Somewhere and multiple stakes champion Beach Glass, Meadowlands Pace and Ontario Sire Stakes champion Lawless Shadow, and the richest pacing stallion in all of harness racing history, the great Hall of Famer Mick Wicked. Also standing at Windbank Farm, Archangel, Better Than Cheddar, Betting Line, My MVP, and Trixton. For more information, visit windbankfarm.com.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
Three more races left to go this morning as we return. We are back on the pace for qualifier number 11, field of 7. Going to the post here. Another group that we're interested to watch is some horses coming back this week. We've got 7, as mentioned. 2 of them did race 7 days ago. Quick Away was a winner, the number 4. And he was a 56 winner. He was the fastest of that first weekend of qualifiers, 27-2 on the end, the son of American Ideal. He's back out today, post 4 to work with. And Starbright Dancer, the Artspeak colt, he was 4th in his first try on June 7th. Kicked home in 27 seconds as well in his split, individually timed in 57 and 3. One that I'm intrigued to watch here is called What's in the Shadows. Post 3 starter here, a shadow play that was sold at the London Classic sale as well for $60,000 last year. Second full from Tide Her Over. The sibling is one called My Tide. You maybe recognize that name, Jeff. She was a dominant winner in our London Classic Sales Series, first edition of that on Camlock Classic night
for Ben
recently.
Hollingsworth.
Yep, and looked very good. She's 5 for 8, and then came here to Mohawk and stepped up with a lifetime mark of 53 flat. Nice filly, nice daughter of McQuicket.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said, sometimes you want to know who were close by, but Ben Hollingsworth is over at Shamrock as well. I worked very closely with him, and it was fantastic to see him have success with her. I mean, he works real hard, and anytime he wins, he brings donuts to the farm. So we're always happy when Ben wins races.
Well, if he keeps having the luck he is, you guys are going to put a few pounds on then next year.
That's the problem.
by the way he's going, and especially with a filly like My Tide, a nice one to have in the barn for sure. But when you look at the field here, you've got D.A. Galloway, first-time starter that is intriguing here. Cattle wash out of a good mare, Taboo Sealster. She's the daughter of Camlock. Just a $24,000 yearling purchase, though. Last year, Vic Putty sends out this one. Quick Away, though, is one that you're going to keep your attention on here. I think, the ones that won a week ago and did it impressively, you want to see what they have in store in week number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we want to see if they can continue to drop seconds here and get better.
Got one off the track just in behind us there. It's Count on Gourd, Better Than Cheddar.
Just adjust the tongue tie and we'll be all right.
Count on Gourd, Better Than Cheddar, as we mentioned. Better Than Cheddar, another stallion. We're talking, we're not seeing as many of him here today, his offspring, but he sits eighth in North America this season for stallion earnings, and maybe doesn't get the recognition some of the other stallions, but boy, he's produced a lot of good horses.
He has. They're funny animals to work with. As you can see, that one out there, you probably won't find many 2-year-olds out here in just an open bridle, but they're funny animals. They seem to be skittish. Sometimes they're tough to get effort out of and desire, but they make very good raceway horses. A little tricky, a little frustrating, but very good-looking animals, and they tend to do all right out on the track here.
Yeah, and one thing we've noticed today, Jeff, we've seen a lot of horses out on the track. There are very few that you wouldn't say are not a good-looking individual.
No,
yeah,
I haven't seen one.
That's what you really notice. The breed has evolved so amazingly. They're lining up, qualifier number 11. Field of 7, back up to Mark with the call.
Thank you very much, Greg. The horses lining up, the 11th qualifier. Field of 7, as mentioned. 1 is Starbright Dancer, son of Artspeak, Tyler Borth driving for Rod Boyd. 2 is Shadow Cove, a gelded son of Shadow Play, Dr. Ian Moore, the trainer driver. This one coming out of the Harrisburg sale for $40,000 US. 3, What's in the Shadows, a Shadow Play colt, also trained by Doc Moore. Tyler Moore will drive. This one, a $60,000 yearling from the London Classic. 4, Quick Away, American Ideal colt, trained by Blake McIntosh. James McDonald drives. Or you can change that to Trevor Henry will drive. This one, a $30,000 Lexington Select purchase. 5 is Ricky Rocket, Captain Treacherous colt. Desiree Jones trains. Gino Toscani drives. This Captain Treacherous, purchased for $15,000 US at Harrisburg. 6 is going to be Count on Gourd, gelded son of Better Than Cheddar. Chris Matthews trains. The driver is Doug McNair, and 7 is D.A. Galloway, Cattle Wash colt, trained by Victor Putty. Billy Davis to drive. This one, a $24,000 yearling out of the London Classic. Set to go, qualifier number 11. Here they come. They're off and pacing. And we'll watch to the middle as it's Ricky Rocket shooting forward along with Quick Away, and they've got some good early strides as they're speeding out. Getting away in third is going to be Starbright Dancer. Fourth then will be D.A. Galloway to the inside Shadow Cove, and then we're going to go back to Count on Gord, who gets in front of What's in the Shadows as they're heading into the first turn and revved up, ready to go. This is Quick Away, and Quick Away is going to hang up an opening quarter in 27-1. So Quick Away certainly took off here on the outside as they're moving into the backstretch. That is Starbright Dancer, as that one away from the rail ended up kind of wide there in the first turn, working around on Ricky Rocket, as these three have got, well, probably a dozen lengths back to the others as we're moving in the second quarter. D.A. Galloway, that one now being looped here by Shadow Cove. Behind that one, Count on Gord, and last is What's in the Shadows coming up to the midway point. It's Quick Away there at the half in 56-3, 29-2 in the second quarter after that hot 27-1 opener. It's Quick Away leading it by 2.5. In second is Starbright Dancer. Third is Ricky Rocket. About 7 lengths going back to Shadow Cove in fourth. Fifth as they go into the far turn is D.A. Galloway. Behind that one then is Count on Gord. And behind Count on Gord, you're going to find What's in the Shadows as Quick Away has got away and leads it by 5. Coming to 3/4 on Starbright Dancer. Ricky Rockets to the outside. 3/4 time was 1:26-1. So 29-3. Third quarter into the stretch, and we'll see if Quick Away after that hot opening quarter can finish up strong here in the final split. It's all Quick Away. Ricky Rocket into second. Starbright Dancer is third. Then we're going back to Shadow Cove as Count on Gord is looking to get by that rival in deep stretch. It is Quick Away with an eye-catching performance here. Second time out, another winning effort, and Quick Away stops the clock in a time of 1:53-2. Finishing in second was Ricky Rocket. On the outside, Count on Gord had a good final quarter. Looked to get third from Starbright Dancer. 1:53-2 for Quick Away.
Well, that was short-lived. 53-4, qualifier 10. 53-2 here for Quick Away. He is now the fastest 2-year-old in Canada. And ultra impressive as well, right? Middle half 59 seconds, and then the Jets come on late, 27-1 on the end. And Trevor just keeping his mind on business here, but the big long striding son of American Ideal, 2 for 2 in qualifying action. And I believe the plan is maybe a trip to Yonkers for New York Sire Stakes. If all goes well.
Yeah, well, he seems to be ready to go. Again, you might know a little better than me. I haven't followed any of the American qualifiers, but and it's tough to say watching from here. Whether sometimes we say we're always trying to do things properly out here, and when a horse gets away like that, sometimes from the side without being the driver of the trainer, you wonder if he was controllable or not, or whether that mile 53-2 was under control. It's kind of a different feeling either way, but. If they're having stakes races somewhere, I think he's probably ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I think you like to see there, 27-1, so he snapped off the gate, and then pretty rateable in the 59 seconds for a colt of that caliber. I think doing it pretty easily, and then 27-1, right? Yeah. You'd rather see that. You don't want to see that 29-second quarter on the end of that mile per se, right?
That's what when we got to the stretch. That's it. Again, I was trying to figure out whether he was under control or not, and I was kind of hoping he'd come home a little bit better than 29, and absolutely he did. And then, like we said, Blake wasn't going to let Tyler have that speed mark for the day for too long, was he?
No, it was short-lived. Really amazing, the speeds that they're going. And I believe that might be the fastest in North America for a 2-year-old at this point in time. Can't say that for 100% certainty, but
it's got to be close.
It's very close, yeah. And, nice-looking specimen as well. There he is, the son of American Ideal. Again, he'll be a New York Sires competitor, I'm sure. And looks like he might be one of the early favorites going into that program as well. Let's take another commercial break. We've got 2 more left to go on this Friday morning. Trotters coming up next on the Rookie Showcase.
The London Classic Yearling Sale, Canada's premier standardbred auction, returns this October to the Western Fair District Agriplex. The nation's leading consigners choose the London Classic, offering hundreds of yearlings by many of the sport's leading sires, all under one roof at one of North America's best venues. Recent sale graduates include Canada's Rookie Pacing Colt of the Year, Stonebridge Wizard, O'Brien Award finalist Paquette, and O'Brien Award-winning double millionaire Logan Park. The London Classic Yearling Sale, where your dollar goes further and where champions are found. Find out more at londonclassic.ca.
Preferred Equine Online has proven time and time again to be the industry's online provider, selling the highest priced horses in all categories online, including racehorses, broodmares, yearlings, weanlings, and stallion shares. Full service, trusted and transparent. Contact Preferred for your online sales needs at www.preferredequineonline.com or call 914-773-7777.
Two more races left to go here this morning. Thank you again to everybody tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far. Wanted to let you know that next weekend, more baby race action. And for those on track, on Saturday, June 21st, we'll have a complimentary owners breakfast happening that morning at the new Railside Cafe. It starts at 9:30 a.m. Delicious pancake breakfast, food, coffee, other drinks, and more. No RSVP needed for that. Hope to see everybody out here next weekend, next Saturday, June 21st. For the complimentary owners breakfast, part of the final weekend of our rookie showcase coverage here on Prime Time Racing. We got trotters here in the second to last of the morning session. 7 of them scheduled to go post-race. Getting a look at Tyler Borth. He'll be on board Northern Genius. Blake McIntosh looking to come back with another winner here. This one did qualify last week and was involved in some of the early mix in that race. Ended up finishing third, individually charted in 2:04 and 3 with 28 and 4 final quarter speed. He's the lone horse in the field that did go postward last weekend. So we'll see him. Steve Boston says another one out here, Southwind Chester. Father Patrick, sibling to a good one in Southwind Coors, career winner of almost $600,000. And the mare as well, sibling to El Toro Loco, and that's a horse Steve knows well. Formerly campaigned this horse in Ontario. In fact, he set a track record down in my neck of the woods, Jeff, in London. Don't know if you remember him, El Toro Loco, but really good on the half-mile track, and some familiarity there for Steve. He owns this one with Derek Reed and Richard Thompson. And we'll see if Southwind Chester can do good things today from post number 4. Nice group overall in here. I don't think we're going to see any kind of speed like we have in the last couple of races, but that looks like a nice group overall.
Yeah, I don't know that horse per se, El Toro Loco, but I speak Spanish pretty well. Do you know what that means, El Toro Loco?
No, you're gonna have to enlighten me.
Enlighten you. El Toro Loco, it means the crazy bull.
A crazy bull.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy bull. It's a good name.
All I know is Nacho Libre. I remember that was a great movie.
Yeah, it was a good movie. It was the free Nacho, though.
Yeah, he was a nice little trotter, that guy. Yeah, and I remember him. He set a track record in London. He was right at the top of his game at that time. I think he's maybe south of the border now. I'm not sure where he's surfaced lately, but here we've got some good pedigree potential in the field. There's a couple of London sale graduates in here that I wanted to have a look at. Stonebridge Mac was a $59,000 purchase last year. Stonebridge Mac, son of Green Man Alishi, the mare. Stonebridge Encore, a sister to the great Peaceful Way, who had 8 winners as well as a broodmare. Scott McEnany trains this one. The other sale graduates, Bridgie, kind of the other end of the spectrum. Just $7,000 yearling purchase, but a good sign for one like that here we are fairly early in the season, and they're ready to qualify, so must have trained down pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, maybe that might be the mark that Wheelin' and Dealin' fills there. You might not have to pay top dollar for a Wheelin' and Dealin', but they seem to be able to get here and compete.
Yeah, just a horse like him doesn't breed as many mares, but has produced top level horses. I think an indication of how deep the stallion roster is in Ontario.
Right.
You've got pretty much world-class type stallions that just don't get as many opportunities as some of the bigger names.
Exactly, and like I said, we chase the bloodline so much, and you want to go after the big names, right? But there are some nice undercard trotting sires here for sure.
Again, here's Mark McKelvey with the call of race number 12.
12th race today, a field of 7 lined up. We're back on the trot. The 1 is Northern Genius, a muscle mass colt. It'll be Tyler Borth for Blake McIntosh. 2 is Captain Mackay. It's a Captain Corey colt, trained by Desiree Jones. Gino Toscani will drive this one, coming out of the Lexus sale for $26,000 US. 3 is the Conqueror, muscle mass colt. Dan Legacy trains. Brady Legacy will drive. The Conqueror comes out of Harrisburg for $50,000 US. 4 is Southwind Chester. Steve Boston's trains. Bob McClure steering this son of Father Patrick, $35,000 US from Lexington. 5 is Timel Starstruck, Green Shoe colt, trained by Greg McNair. Doug McNair driving from Harrisburg for $13,000 US. 6 is Bridgie, wheeling and dealing colt, trained by Courtney Bishop with Jody Jameson. This one a $7,000 London Classic buy. And 7 is Stonebridge Mac. This is a Green Manalishi colt. Scott McEnany trains. Trevor Henry drives. $59,000 from the London Classic. Set to go. Qualifier number 12 is sent on their way as the trotters are off. And from post 2, Captain Micah goes out to the lead. Inside is Northern Genius. The others might just line things up. Getting away 3rd is the Conqueror. 4th is Southwind Chester. On the outside is Bridgie, who wants to get ahead of a few rivals. Back down to the rail, Timel Starstruck, and Stonebridge Mac just took to the back from post 7. Out in front, it's going to be Captain Micah. This Captain Corey colt leads it and heads to the opening quarter, clear by 3. Second is going to be Northern Genius. The opening quarter was 29-4. So it's Captain Micah, the leader. Second is Northern Genius. In 3rd, then, is the Conqueror. Getting into 4th, that was Bridgie. So as mentioned, got ahead of a couple of them and settles there 4th in front of Southwind Chester. A length and a half back of that one in 5th as they start to tighten up here in the second split. Second from last is Timel Starstruck, and then the trailer is Stonebridge Mac. And as mentioned, you can see them bunching up in mid-pack there. The leader here is Captain Micah. Second is Northern Genius. 2 lengths back to the Conqueror. Bridgie's in 4th. 5th then is Southwind Chester, and at the back, Stonebridge Mac moved to the outside, and just on that one's left is Timel Starstruck. 1:02.1 was the half. So they slowed things down significantly there as they were going into that headwind. Now onto the far turn. Captain Micah picks it right back up. Northern Genius is trying to stick with the leader, is 3 lengths away. It's about 7 lengths going back here to Bridgie, who comes up the inside on the Conqueror, who drops back into 4th. Inside 5th is Southwind Chester. Also at the rails, Timel Starstruck, and Stonebridge Mac is the trailer. 3/4 was 1:30.4. So a good speed there in the 3rd quarter coming from Captain Micah. Captain Micah leading it. Northern Genius in 2nd. Bridgie is back there in 3rd. 4th is Southwind Chester. It's the Conqueror going back to Timel Starstruck and Stonebridge Mac. Captain Micah poised to go all the way. Captain Micah in qualifier number 12 as this Captain Corey colt wins his qualifying debut by 4. In 2nd was Northern Genius. Bridgie was 3rd and tight for 4th. 1:58.3. 27-4 on the end of it there for Captain Micah.
Well, no 53 mile there, but ultra impressive, I thought. Captain Micah, first trip behind the gate for this strapping son of the Hambletonian winner, Captain Corey, kicks home at 27-4. Wins pretty easily on the front end. The mare, Broadway Chuckles, a good producer in her own right, sister to a good one in Fashion Chocolate, who made almost $800,000. I love the slow-mo shot coming to the wire. You can see the gate on Captain Micah. Nice effort today in winning there. Northern Genius was a solid 2nd for McIntosh and Borth. And Bridgie, who we talked about beforehand, he was all trot, slipped up the inside on the final turn, and was a good 3rd in that quick 1:58.3 miles. So more youngsters impressing us, Jeff.
More impressive
by the race.
More impressive efforts. I'll tell you what, that was not hard to watch. that Captain Micah there. It's a beautiful going trotter. I told you before the show I was interested to see just kind of how these Captain Corys
You had the
how they
Captain
look.
Corys on your mind. You did,
Yeah.
and
that's a beautiful trotter.
Yeah, for sure. Nice body language again after the race coming back. And Gino Toscani on board this guy. Just a $26,000 purchase last fall. Looks like money well spent.
Absolutely, absolutely. Look at him head down there.
58 and 3.
And James has to get out of here, get on a plane to the Meadowlands. And Gino...
James McDonald, Louis Waugh, racing tonight in the Graduate there. I think James has time is on my side. And Louis driving, I think, Calico Jack Hanover. He won the Juravinski there a few weeks ago.
Louis won everything that night.
Yeah, so the Graduate tonight, stake season, high swing. That'll be at the Big M tonight, and they'll be back tomorrow night, of course, Pepsi North America Cup night here, and an amazing undercard as well.
Again, like you said, just great shots. A couple extra shots from Kudra Entertainment here.
This is
time racing that
we've had feedback from a lot of people. They love this.
Yeah,
seeing them come off the track, seeing kind of how they are after the race.
Well, and like you said, that
tells you something.
Yeah, you don't get to see their beauty and their size just from that the camera angle way up top, right? This is really good for anybody who wants to see their horses.
I agree. I think the shots in the paddock pre-race and this post-race vantage point as well adds a lot. So big shout out to Cam Chick, our cameraman, working hard in the paddock all morning long for a 13 race marathon.
Cam, and I wanted to say on that too, shout out to horse people. I know everybody had to be up early and getting out here. I said there's an energy out here, but shout out to everybody. We're putting on a good show here.
It's an exciting time. So 12 down, and we've got one more left to go. We'll have the 13th final after the break.
O'Brien Award Breeder of the Year, Terra Hills, is home to harness racing's most exciting young stallion. Green Manalishi's first crop has taken Ontario and the Grand Circuit by storm. It includes Peaceful Way winner Mona Lishi.
With the
World champion Cattle Wash has seen multiple New Jersey Sire Stake winners from his first crop, including final winning filly Reckless Abandon. His 2024 yearlings are eligible to the Ontario Sire Stakes. Don't miss your chance to buy one of their sons or daughters this fall. For more, visit terrahills.com.
I'm awfully glad I won. The Hamiltonian, it's one of the most prestigious races.
It's quite a thrill. This is one of the biggest thrills of my life.
We delivered. The horse delivered. It was amazing. I can't believe it.
I am stunned. I'm absolutely stunned.
This is obviously the pinnacle.
Just something that I can't explain.
This is just an absolute dream come true.
It feels good now, but I'm sure it's going to feel even better tomorrow.
For me to do it, this is my moment.
I might have got a little excited.
Yes, the Hambletonian celebrating its 100th anniversary this summer. It is going to be a special day, that first Saturday in August. The Hambletonian Society, one of our valued sponsors. Big thank you to all of them for making this coverage possible. A former Hambletonian winner we've mentioned a couple of times today, Captain Corey. He'll have another one out here in the 13th and final. His name is Captain Willie. And got a good young sibling, this one, a horse called Bombay Tom, a regular competitor in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes with over 100,000 on his card. This guy was one of the four six-figure siblings or six-figure yearlings we talked about earlier in the show. Another one in this field is D.A. Mastermind, post 5, the son of Muscle Mass, and from the great producing mare, Pretty Crafty. The Here Comes Herbie mare has produced 6 winners of 150,000 or more. Among them, Stable Genius, who's taken a fast race record of 151-1 and still going strong. This guy was a $120,000 yearling purchase at the London Classic last fall. Kind of an accomplished group in here. We'll see some more from Green Manalishi in this spot as well. Remember him being in the Hambletonian the year he was part of the big 3 for Marcus Melander that year. He had Green Shoe, Jim Pansy, and Green Manalishi. What a 1-2-3 combination. But that was the year, of course, Forbidden Trade, the Canadian horse.
Yeah,
got
beat
it
them
done.
all.
One of the great Hambletonian memories. And we're looking forward to the 100th anniversary of that. We've said off the top 2, maybe some future Hambletonian types that we've seen somewhere along the line here this morning?
Yeah,
Time will tell.
Only time will tell. And, you know, we keep saying it. We believe firmly in our breeding here in Ontario, and this is where we get to show everybody our first steps.
Wheeler Sealster's another son of wheeling and dealing. He's had a few out today, and they've all performed pretty well. Wheeler Sealster's a sibling to a good one called Wildfire Sealster, who earned close to $800,000 in that one's career. And Sealster Farms retains ownership in this guy. They, of course, the breeder of Wheeler Sealster. And we'll see Sealster with another big consignment this year in London. I think around 35 will be sold from that outstanding operation. They'll have a few selling south of the border as well. They sold 3 last year, I think, in Lexington, including Day One and Scorpion Sealster, Dax Sealster, who qualified, I think, at Gateway earlier this week as well. So an exciting time of year for all of the breeding operations on both sides of the border, and this is a lot of fun. Mark McKelvey, I'm sure you've enjoyed calling the action this morning. Just the start of a big weekend, and we've seen some special performances today.
Final qualifier today, 13th. No changes here. Field of 7. 1 is Captain Willie. Captain Corey Gelding. Matt Bax trains and drives this one from the Lexington Select Sale for $100,000 US. 2 is Green Lollipop. Green Manalishi Colt. Desiree Jones trains Gino Toscani to steer from Harrisburg for $10,000. 3 is Beach Concert. Green comes out of the Lexington Select Sale, $16,000 US. Chapter 7. Another Macintosh trainee, Billy Davis, drives from Lexington for $30,000 US. 5 is trains Trevor Henry steers, a muscle mass colt sold for $120,000 at the London Classic. Trixton Colt, Jay Harris drives, and 7 is Wheeler Sealster, a wheelin' and dealin' colt. Keelan Green trained, Eddie Green drives, $67,000. Here we go. Our final qualifier today, the 13th. To wrap up back-to-back days of our rookie showcase. 25 races in total across the 2 days for the 2-year-olds. We'll get tonight's racing, where tonight it will be a 10-race card. First race post time 6:35. First 2-year-old race of the season is on the menu, and then of course we drive into tomorrow. Pepsi North America Cup night, Cup 42. 13 races, $2.2 million in purses. It will be a great show. Final qualifier today. They're off and trotting. A break at the start for the 3 Beach Concert. It'll be Green Lollipop who gets out to the early advantage. Looked like it might be Secret Trader off the wings. Instead, that one now moves over to the inside as Captain Willie from the rail gets second. So Secret Trader moves into third. Then we are going back to DA Mastermind fourth. Fifth will be King Trixton. Wheeler Sealster sixth. And off stride, that break at the beginning for number 3, Beach Concert, who will look to catch up. Opening quarter is coming up here. It's on the board in 30 and 3. 30 and 3 opener here, and it is Green Lollipop, a son of Green Manalishi by 1.5 lengths. In second is Captain Willie. Then third, that's going to be Secret Trader. In fourth, DA Mastermind. Fifth is King Trixton. Wheeler Sealster right behind that one, sixth. Well back then to Beach Concert. Not going a whole lot here in this second quarter, as it is Green Lollipop who is showing the way. Everyone else content to follow for the time being. After that 30 and 3 opener, they're going to crawl up to the half. So it's Green Lollipop by 1.5 lengths. They're heading into a headwind, of course, there in that second quarter, as we've seen all morning. And there you have it, the half 105 flat. So on to the far turn. It continues to be Green Lollipop. 2 lengths in front of Captain Willie. Third is Secret Trader. In fourth is DA Mastermind. A few lengths back to King Trixton, followed by Wheeler Sealster. And last, that is Beach Concert. As we approach 3 quarters, it's a 2-length advantage for Green Lollipop. Picking it up here. Green Lollipop Captain Willie in second. The Captain Corey right behind. Has 3 quarters, was hit in 134 and 3. 29 and 3 in the third quarter. And now we're into the stretch. We'll see what they got as they're kicking for home, and it's Green Lollipop. Captain Willie trying to fire a shot. Here on the outside comes DA Mastermind. Inside is Secret Trader. Less than an eighth to go. Green Lollipop trying to close it out between horses. Captain Willie. DA Mastermind is stepping well on the outside and grabs the lead late. Captain Willie will finish in second. Is DA Mastermind by a head. Captain Willie from Green Lollipop, and then to Secret Trader. 2:03 flat.
DA Mastermind from that excellent family, and gets his young career off on a winning note. First time behind the gate in qualifying action and victorious today in 2:03. I would probably chart his own back half in around 57 seconds from where he came from. Pretty impressive. Great job to go by late.
Absolutely, yep. You know, I would say we didn't quite go on a bang like some of those pacing miles here, but that was a very impressive effort by Trevor for sure.
Another Captain Corey offspring, Captain Willie, getting up for the place spot, and tempo setter Green Lollipop will finish third.
You know,
in
on
13th and final.
The breeding love was kind of spread around today, and you know, maybe Captain Corey was one of the standouts today.
Yeah, it's strange to see an American sire like that with a number. He's had a number that we've seen out here over the last couple of weeks, and they're all looking good. They are all trot, that is for sure. Muscle mass, of course, you know, he just keeps on doing what he always does, and this mating with Pretty Crafty has been a very lucrative one, and here's another one that certainly going in the right direction early on. Victorious to cap things off today in 2:03. And yeah, Jeff, just an impressive day top to bottom. We knew we would see more speed today. We saw even perhaps more than we anticipated.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I wasn't quite tuned in yesterday. I don't know if you thought today was better than yesterday, but going through the program last week was hot, and this week pretty impressive, that's for sure.
So we've seen the fastest 2-year-old in Canada this season. His name is Quick Away, 153 and a 2, no wait list. Another sub 154 winner as part of the 13 race extravaganza here this morning. And yeah, a lot to look forward to over the next few weeks as they will sort themselves out quickly, and we'll see who is who in terms of both local and Grand Circuit stakes programs in the coming weeks. And yeah, we're just getting started on a busy weekend here tonight. Of course, harness racing this evening, first 2-year-old race of the year in Canada happens there. And looking ahead to tomorrow night, again, 13 races, including the $1 million Pepsi North America Cup. An incredible wagering menu, a lot happening on track. And of course, we hope you can join us for primetime racing on Game Plus and various other platforms tomorrow evening. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be back next weekend as well with the Rookie Showcase, including the breakfast, complimentary owners breakfast again next Saturday, the 21st. Jeff, great job. Thank you for joining us on late notice.
Thanks for having me, Greg. That was awesome. It was a good morning.
Appreciate it. And I think you liked what you saw today as well out there.
Absolutely. You know, happy to be a part of it, and we're going to follow these horses all summer long.
And we understand that you had to get somebody else to do a couple of your horses this morning so you could do this.
Yeah, that's what I said.
So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, didn't want to leave my father by himself, so we got someone to cover me. But like I said, we'll switch up the monotony and come out here and do something different for a few hours.
Yeah, it's been a whole lot of fun. We now have 2 full weekends of baby races in the books, and some big names emerging already. As mentioned, tomorrow night, if you can't be with us on track, we've got you covered with the Pepsi North America Cup coverage on Game Plus, and that begins at 10 p.m. Prior to that, from 9 until 10, we'll be on with a bit of a pregame show on our social media platforms as well. A little bit of bonus coverage. Myself, Mark McKelvey, Jamie McDonald with you tomorrow evening. we are certainly looking forward to that. Hope you enjoyed the coverage today. Thank you so much for watching the Rookie Showcase on Prime Time Racing.